All right, why is this not going live? All right, we are live. I don't know why it took a couple minutes, but thank you, everybody. This has been very, very anticipated, so I really appreciate the support we've gotten throughout the week and, of course, throughout the many years of Sens Talk. Firstly, thank you, everybody, for being here already. Many chats, 20-something people already here in the first 10, 15 seconds. So thank you for joining us. My name is Brandon Plant from Sens Talk and, of course, of the Best of 7 podcast. Today at 8 o'clock, it is the National Hockey League Draft Lottery, ladies and gentlemen. This one is going to be a crazy one. Now, I'm going to break down how this weird, wonky draft works. And then, of course, I'll get to the chat. We'll discuss things. We'll talk about how Alfie was not a Hall of Famer for some reason. We're going to talk about that, of course. We're going to talk about lottery scenarios. We're going to talk about draft scenarios. And really, I wanted to start this chat and this stream early because it's the last Sens thing or Sens-related thing with the National Hockey League that we'll see for maybe 5-6 months. So I want to make this as fun and interactive as possible. Now, I'm going to retweet and get this link up there so we get as many people here as possible so we can get a nice conversation going. And then I'm going to read, of course, Bob McKenzie's very lengthy thread that he posted the other day on Twitter. We'll make sure to get to that as well. But firstly, I'm going to get this tweet out there so we can get a little more exposure. And then we are going to go through the lottery. All right. Live now. At @SensTalk_ is the Twitter, by the way. All right. And is it up? All right. So firstly, this draft lottery is a unique one with many things during this year. COVID-19 has really forced leagues and people in general to come up with creative solutions to working around the fact that we don't know when we can return to play. We don't know any of this. So let me tell you what the NHL has decided for the NHL lottery. Firstly, the 6 teams and their percentages for winning first overall are as follows. First place, Detroit, 18.5%. But Ottawa, with San Jose's pick, has a 25% combined. Ottawa's lone pick has 13.5% chance of getting first overall, while San Jose's falls at 11.5%. And fourth, it would be Los Angeles. Thank God Ottawa lost that final game of the season against the LA Kings. That was huge and put them in the second spot, which is magnificent looking back at it at the odds now for the Senators draft lottery. LA, like I just said, 9.5%, Anaheim 8.5%, New Jersey 7.5%, and Buffalo, just missed it on that big return to play format at 6.5%. Now let me get to where things start to get very confusing, and bear with me, I may get very confused while reading it. So let me get to it. Firstly, if none of the 8 alpha designated unknown teams, those which lose the 2020 play-in qualifier, which would be essentially the playoffs of maybe Pittsburgh, Montreal, etc., when a top 3 overall pick, Bill Daly's countdown, flipping of cards, will start at number 7. So if the flipping starts at number 7, that means one of the Team A or Team F or whatever won a draft lottery position. If one of the 8 unknown teams gets the top 3 pick, the countdown flip starts at 8. So like I just said, 7, it'll start at 7 if one of those teams gets first overall, and I guess if they get a top 3 pick, it'll start at 8. So keep in mind, remind me about that in the chat, please, because this is going to be very, very complicated. And if you couldn't tell, I'm speaking a little fast. I'm very nervous as a Sens fan. This is huge. Now, the next tweet. If 2 of the 8 unknown teams win a top 3 pick in the draw, the countdown flipping starts at number 9. So mark that down as well. If it starts at number 9, that means 2 teams have won the lottery. If 3 of 8 unknown teams wins all 3 top picks, God forbid, well, there won't be much of a countdown. New top 3 will be unknown until a second draft lottery after the play-in qualifier. Basically, it just show us getting 5 and 6. That's what would happen in that scenario. Now, in the later scenario where all 3 top picks go to unknown teams, picks 4 through 10 would be the same ordering of the 6 known teams pre-lottery. That is Detroit, Ottawa, LA, Anaheim, New Jersey, and Buffalo in that exact order in the lottery. Is there anything else? There's a 75% chance we'll know which team is selecting first overall. Is there anything else here I should get to you before I get to the other stuff? No. Okay. So now I'm going to get here. I've prepared a bunch of stuff for y'all, so I can go through that with y'all before any of this starts. All right, here we are. So basically, here are the Senators odds. The Sanders tweeted something up today, but I'm reading it off of @Samich_BLT. Thank you for the tweet. So the odds of Ottawa getting first or second are very, very slim. And if this happens, you'll see it live here. But if this happens, I may, God forbid, but I may pass out. Not even kidding. If Ottawa gets Lafreniere and Byfield, or Stutzle if Ottawa wants to go that direction, woof, I will lose my mind. So for first and second overall to happen, it's happened 3.5 out of 100. Simulation. So it's 3.5% chance. Now, if Ottawa gets first and third, that is a 3.4% chance, which is actually a lower percent chance than first and second. So Ottawa has a higher percent chance of getting 1 and 2 than 1 and 3. Now, Ottawa getting 1 and 4 is much higher at 8%. 1 and 5 is, out of those scenarios, is the most likely. If Ottawa's going to get first overall, it's very likely going to be first overall and fifth overall at 10%. 2 and 3 overall, 3.3%. That would be also very ideal. I think a lot of Sens fans, including myself, would be just happy to get a selection in the top 3. That guarantees Lafreniere, if it's first overall, obviously, or Byfield or Stutzle, depending where that second, third would be, or of course first, where Laf would be. 2 and 4, which I personally, I'm predicting it right now. I'm going to put it out there. I think Ottawa will be drafting with the second and fourth overall pick. That's just my take. That's what I think. Just a gut feeling. I'm going to read the chat. Don't worry, y'all. Keep on commenting. I'm going to get to it as soon as possible. We got plenty of time. Now, 2 and 5. That is a 9.3% chance, which is one of the highest percentages here. That includes that Sanders' top 3 pick. It starts to get very bad after that. So 3 and 4, 8% chance. 3 and 5, 8.6% chance. And don't stress yet. But getting fourth and fifth overall is a 22.4% chance, and a fifth and sixth overall selection, which would be worst case scenario for Ottawa, even though that's still pretty good. Ottawa get pretty good picks there. Would be 15.2% chance of that. So overall, a 63% chance Ottawa's in the top 3, and that's what I'm going to look at. Glass half full, not half empty. I don't want to be a half empty type of person. Now, I'm also going to read quickly. I'm going to read the NHL.com draft lottery rundown, because some of y'all, I kind of read that a couple of you all are confused, so I'm going to make sure we have nobody confused here. But once again, this lottery is unique, it's new, and it's nerve-wracking because we can be seeing a second phase of the lottery here. We could be seeing Pittsburgh win first overall potentially. There's too many scenarios, and my heart can't take it. So let's get to it. Firstly, let me get here. They have potential losing teams from the qualifiers. Oh, I skipped through that. Okay. The first phase of the lottery will consist of 3 drawings and include the 7 teams whose season ended in 8 placeholder positions. I'm just going to read this quickly. Is there anything that tells me anything new? Okay. Yeah. So there's nothing here. I'm going to read to you the qualifier team percentages, though. That's what I wanted here. So qualifying team A, 6%. Team B, 5%. C, 3.5, D, 3, E, 2.5, F, 2, G, 1.5, and H is 1%. After that, yeah, this is too complicated. There's so much here. I'm going to put this link in the description after the video when this is uploaded, so y'all can check. But let me get to the chat now. Okay, so we're going all the way to the top. Okay, so Sens fan, can I show the TV? Unfortunately, I can't. Copyright issues. What channel is it on? Okay, so in America, it's on NBCSN, which is NBC Sportsnet. And then, of course, in Canada, it's on Sportsnet. And the audio will be here with my live reaction as a Sanders fan. What happened? What happened? Blah, blah, blah. Excited. I want Lafreniere. I want anything. Yeah, calm down. Hey, Brandon, what do you think about Stutzle? Everyone thinks he is overrated, but I think he's a monster for his age. Good pick for the Sanders. Well, I think Ottawa, if they don't get first overall and they get second overall, the obvious pick, in my opinion, would be Quinton Byfield. That's without a doubt, in my opinion. That being said, Stutzle can make you can make the argument for Stutzle going second overall. I don't think it should happen. I think Byfield is an electric player, especially for his age. The speed that he has, the skill that he has, and the size that he has, that is a top-line center, and you want to draft that. So Ottawa should definitely take Byfield, but Stutzle, all I've heard is great things. And I would love to add Stutzla to the team. Tim Stutzla, he could be a center, he could be a winger. He can really do it all for you. And the kid has a lot of potential. Like this whole top 10 has a lot of potential. This whole draft, I guess, really does. But if we could get Stutzla on the team, chef's kiss. Okay, any other questions? Okay, start asking questions. I'll answer them. Who do you think is the biggest bust potential in the top 5? Well, I don't know. This draft is so stacked that I honestly don't know. Okay. About 20%. Okay. Worst case scenario for Ottawa is drafting Lucas Raymond and Jamie Drysdale, and I don't even think that's worst case scenario. Lucas Raymond could certainly be a top 5 pick in this draft. It's that deep. I wouldn't be shocked if he went top 5. Some teams certainly can take him in the top 5. And Jamie Drysdale, that's not worst case. I think that's the best defenseman. That is the best defenseman on the board. And if Ottawa, which I believe they will, target Jamie Drysdale or Jake Sanderson, one of those two defenders, it's a good draft for Ottawa. Obviously prefer Drysdale, though. Jeff Myra, you don't have Sportsnet? Well, this is your only way of knowing the results? Well, thank you for choosing us as your news source. Would you take Drysdale and Rossi at 4 or 5? No. I take Drysdale, but not Rossi. I love Marco Rossi. I just think there's a few other talented forwards, especially centers like Byfield, or even Stutzla, that I would take before Rossi. But I take Rossi 5, 6, 7, 8, around that area. That's where I take Rossi. Dustin J asks, why would we take Drysdale if we just signed Chabot? Well, Chabot can't do it all. He played 33 minutes last year on average for like 25, 30 games in a row. And that's going to wear him out, and that's going to put him prone to injuries. We don't want a Bobby Orr situation here. So let's get other defensemen that alleviate the time on ice for Thomas Chabot. And Drysdale reminds me a lot like Chris Letang when he was going into the draft here and going as a prospect, and even now. So I see Drysdale as another Chris Letang. Great speed, great puck handling, great vision, and great creativity. And that's all that you want in the defender. And that's what you got in Jamie Drysdale. What else we got here? I don't think we need forwards, and I hope Chabot and Brandstrom really develop. I feel Brandstrom started to play well back in the Belleville with the Belleville Sanders. Yeah, I was in Belleville. They really played well. But Chabot, he doesn't need to develop anymore. Chabot is a star. He's an all-star in the league, and he is going to continue to develop. He doesn't have to develop. I mean, like, he's going to continue to naturally develop because he's already at that stage in his career where he's a bona fide NHL defenseman. Brandstrom, I'm a little wary about Brandstrom. I think he's going to be a star in the NHL. I just don't know when. Sens fan, who is the most underrated player that would fit best with Ottawa? Well, that's a great question. You can look at Lucas Raymond. This guy is, for example, this guy should be a top 5 selection, and he's not even being spoken in the top 5. That could be an underrated player. You can have a guy like, I don't know how to say underrated. I don't know what would be underrated in the first 15 picks for Ottawa because this draft is so deep. I guess I throw Jack Quinn out there, a speedy, beautiful shot for a right winger and left winger and Jack Quinn. He's a winger for Ottawa 67. He didn't play on a line with Marco Rossi. He got 52 goals. So Jack Quinn, not underrated, but he'd be a great fit for Ottawa. They got him with that 3rd pick. Also would like Askarov, the goaltender from Russia. I'd love that as well. So there's many options, and really, this first round is one of the deepest in National Hockey League history. So I think Ottawa wins anywhere unless they draft like Jack Quinn first overall. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but that's the only way I'd be unhappy with the way the draft play. I think you can make the argument for the top 15 prospects. You can make the argument for any of them being in the top 10, in my opinion. Okay. Tarzan, your heart wants first, but you're expecting 5th and 6th. Yep, same here. By the way, we're at about 30 views right now. We still have about 15 minutes to go before the lottery, so I really appreciate the support. Oh, we're growing. Pardon me. But yeah, let's get the comments in. Are you going to show the screen? Can't. Copyright issues. I will show my face reaction. but the audio will be in the background, so you will be able to hear Bill daily, and you'll be able to listen with me because I won't be speaking the whole time. I'll be watching, and then I'll be reacting and commentating as it goes. That's usually how we do it on the channel, and hopefully you can stay here and watch. Sens need a stud goalie according to Flying Nimbus. Yes, I think Marcus Hogberg has great potential. I think Anders Nilsson is a solid stopgap goalie right now. I think Joey Decord, which, by the way, he was on the Best of 7 podcast, my show. After this, go to YouTube, go to the videos, and just watch that interview. It's fantastic. I think he has great potential. Gustafson's still there. Mandalise was a QMJ goalie of the year. Matt Sogard is a talented goalie from Denmark. You could go through it. Ottawa has a lot of good goaltending prospects, but if Askarov is still available, you got to take him with the Islanders pick. Addy, man, Sanderson, in my opinion, just because of the public reaction to him. Can you rephrase what that means? Jake Sanderson reminds me sort of, I think Jake Sanderson will be a solid NHL defenseman, but you want a star. That's Drysdale, in my opinion. Sanderson, if we take him, I won't be mad. I'll be disappointed. I think he's certainly a top 4 defenseman on any National Hockey League team. I think his skating at this early stage in his career is phenomenal. That shot is beautiful. He's a prototypical two-way defenseman, in my opinion. That's what I project him to be into the NHL. I'm obviously not a pro scout, but that's what I see him as. I see him sort of like a like a Jacob Trouba. 45, 50 points, can lay down the hits. It is a really prototypical Ottawa Sounders pick. Big body, get some points, put the puck on net. That's sort of an Ottawa pick. So if Ottawa took him over Drysdale, I really would not be shocked. Tarzan, what's my favorite jersey style for Ottawa? Okay, speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up. There are rumors, and in fact, there is basically confirmation from the Ottawa Sounders organization themselves that there is a big announcement coming post-draft lottery. So hopefully I'll still be live when that drops. Maybe it's a rebrand. Who knows? A lot of the Sounders draft prospect snapshots they've been posting on Twitter have been with the gold and black colors, which means potentially this one coming back or even something new. So we'll see. What do we got here? So speaking of jerseys with the new rebrand, I'm wearing this one. I love this one. This is the one I got. It has my name on the back. This is the one I got when interviewing Craig Anderson at the Sens skills competition a few years ago. By the way, I have to upload that video on here eventually. It's a great experience. It was like in front of 15,000 people, which is ironic now seeing that because we don't even get that many fans in the stadiums most of the time. But regardless of that, I love the O's, but I think they're a better alternate. I'd really, really want that. This logo is the identity of these Ottawa Sounders. We should keep that. It's a beautiful jersey, the black ones, and make these, or maybe the red ones like this, or the white ones, I don't know, the alternate. That's my opinion. But they're both beautiful and sexy. You can't go wrong either way. Okay, next. Saif Ali Khan. By the way, thank you for your support. You've been on every live stream. I've seen you in the comment section constantly. Whatever happens, Brandon, I want to thank you for the Sens content. It's made the past 3 years bearable. Let's just hope that all this was worth it. You know what I mean? I appreciate the support, and I ain't going away anytime soon. So content's going to keep on rolling with the podcast and everything. Stay tuned for much more content, but I do appreciate your support. Who's underrated? Sanderson. Yeah, I could see Sanderson just by all the flack he's getting. I can see him as certainly one of those draft picks that we all look back on being like, oh, we were wrong about him. His skating really makes me high on him. I prefer Drysdale. Oh, 30 views. Thank you, everybody. Right now, anyways. I obviously prefer Drysdale, but Jake Sanderson, he ain't crap. This guy can skate. He can put the puck in it. He's pretty good. I prefer Drysdale, but if Sanderson's taken, I'll have to wait it out. We already know we were wrong with Shane Pinto. We were especially wrong with Brady Tkachuk. So I'm going to hold my breath before I start losing my mind on any draft picks. Again, I trust the draft department in Ottawa. I really do. It's one of the only things in the Senators organization that's right and has never failed us, really, is that Senators scouting department. In the last few years, they've been doing an exceptional job. Now, James Duffy just tweeted something. Okay. Next question. Sorry about that. I think Nelson might have some issues still because of his concussion. So I hope he will be healthy next season. Jeff Myra said that. Yeah, yep, you're 100% right. I've spoken to a couple people in the organization, and he should be okay for next year. But he's still recovering. Obviously, last time I've heard, he was still recovering from concussion issues, and obviously praying for a speedy recovery for him. Hopefully Nelson comes back better, stronger than ever. Somebody asked, you will stream full draft or just audio commentary? No, I'll be live throughout the draft. The audio will be audible, but I cannot show the video due to copyright issues. But trust me, you want all the live information from Twitter and everything, constant updates from all the top reporters, updates from here, and just a personal fan opinion. You get all three in one. Stay here for that. You're getting a fan opinion, you're getting live news, and you're getting the draft right in front of you. Raymond or Holtz? Think the Sens still favor Swedes? Lucas Raymond for sure over Holtz. Lucas Raymond, like I said before, he's definitely a top 5 pick. He definitely has potential to be a top 5 pick. But Holtz, what scares me about Holtz is this kid has an electric shot, okay? And he's going to be a goal scorer. But what worries me about him is if we take him in the top 5, that wouldn't make sense to me. If he went in with, if he went on and got selected by Ottawa with the 3rd pick we have from the Islanders, okay. But if it's with our first 2 picks, I would question that because he's not in the top 5, top 7 for me. The play-in losers collectively have a 24.5% chance at winning the draft lottery tonight, which is 24.5% too high. I mentioned it a couple times in the podcast and, of course, in the live stream reacting to the RTP, or otherwise known as the return to play format, from Gary Bettman, that announcement. I believe that those teams should never have had an opportunity, like Pittsburgh, Montreal. They really should not have any opportunity to be a part of this lottery, and I think it's ludicrous. So to answer your question simply, Lucas Raymond will be the better player in my opinion, and he will be selected earlier. But Holtz will certainly have a spectacular hockey career, I'm sure. How's next year's draft looking? I heard it was going to be a pretty good one too. Yeah, we'll see. Saif Ali Khan, we'll see. It all depends on how we start next year, whenever that happens. If Ottawa starts off hot, makes the playoffs, maybe if we get 2 top picks here, maybe we won't have to talk about the lottery ever again for quite a bit, which is really what I hope for. I like to contend as soon as possible, but I know that's not the realistic scenario. But if Ottawa gets Lafreniere, it's hard to think Ottawa won't be better than at least a 70, 80-point team. That kid is oh my god, if we get Lafreniere, holy crap, man. Holtz goes to the Bolts. LOL. That would be fun. Holt to the Bolts. That'd be great with Kucherov, 2 snipers. Especially with Stamkos or Point passing. Oh, we're almost at 40 views live right now, and we're not even 5. We're 5 minutes away from the live stream. So, I mean, from the draft lottery. So, once again, I love you guys and girls. So, thank you for the support. What chance we get first, or in the top 3? It's about 63% fresh. It's 63% chance we'll get in the top 3. Would you trade 2nd, 3rd overall pick for the 1st overall pick? I don't think the 1st overall team would take that. But yeah, if you have the Islanders pick, which will still be a really good pick, but if you can get Lafreniere, you take that, in my opinion. You take that. So yes, I obviously would trade 2nd and 3rd for 1st. But I think the 1st overall team would not do that, and I think it would take a lot more than just 2nd and 3rd overall. Okay, next question. Hockey Snipes 365. Stutzel or Byfield? We are looking at 2 comparables here, which too many people are comparing. I think for the age that Byfield is, it should be Byfield without a doubt. In my opinion, Byfield is a prototypical top-line center. He's got speed. He's got skill. He's got hockey smarts. He's got size. What else do you want from a center? That's what you're getting. Pardon me, I'm a little nervous. That's what you get night in and night out from Quinton Byfield. That being said, Tim Stützle, if you get him, very happy as well. The German winger is a fantastic player who can play center as well. He certainly isn't the top-line center like Byfield's projected to be, but he certainly is going to be an elite star, I'm sure, in the National Hockey League. I take Byfield over Stützle based off of needs for the Senators organization. We need a top line center. That being said, if Stützle is selected by Ottawa, I will not bat a tear at all. I'll actually cheer. That would be great news. What's the next question? Mike Hines, if we don't get first, I want 2 and 3. Yep. Jeff Meyer, we would probably have to include a prospect or 2 in that. Yep, probably. There's no way we get first overall for just second and third pick. Okay, I'm just going to tell the moderators to join. Okay. Send your questions in. Now I'm going to check Twitter to see what the reporters are saying. I'll read your messages soon. Josh Demir, legend in this house. How are you doing, Josh? All right, I want to hear your predictions right now. In the chat, what do you think happens in this draft lottery? Are we getting first? Are we getting second? Are we getting third? Are we getting fourth, fifth? Or are we getting stuck with 6? Which isn't even that bad. We're still going to get a pretty good player. Please. Oh, we just passed 40. We're 2 minutes away. Let's go. Okay. Very nervous. Reply or comment, whatever you call it, in the chat with your numbers. And I'll get to them as soon as possible. Holy crap. We are 1 minute away from the draft lottery starting. And this is what the last 3 years have been about. And I am nervous. Holy crap, I am nervous. Jesus. Whew. Okay, so we're getting a lot of feedback here. Okay, so Tarzan 5th and 6th. Oof. Little sad, but hopefully you're wrong. Probably right though, based off the odds. 2nd and 5th, Andrew Junkin. Good. 2nd, 5th, also Saif Ali Khan. Demi Gusson, 1137, 1 and 3rd. Yep, 1st and 3rd overall would be great, but that's one of the lowest percentages, I believe. Ottawa getting 5th and 6th, according to Tamir. Okay. Felix Padden, 5th and 6th. Okay. Mike Hines, 2nd and 3rd. Jeff Myra, I will say 3rd and 5th. Andrew Backler says Montreal's getting number 1. Hi, Andrew. I don't think Montreal will get 1. Heine says 5 and 6. Felix Padden says 5 and 6. Zach Stevens says 5 and 6. What do you call it here? 2 playing teams in the top 3? Yeah, that would be a disaster scenario. Jacob Davis, I hope the Sharks get number 1. Just based off of pettiness, yes, please. Give me the first overall pick from the Sharks. Oh, here we go. Draft lottery starting. So you would trade essentially Byfield and Stützle for Lafreniere? I think too much. Lafreniere is a generational talent. I would do anything for that. Sandra Blevins, 2. Okay. Let me know if the audio is good, by the way. Let me know, just in the comment.
Insignificant number holds an entire team's fate in the balance. Franchises' fortunes are built on days like this. If you luck out, your superstar could change your organization.
The winner of the 2013 draft lottery is the Colorado Avalanche.
Can you guys hear the audio? Let me know. Guys and girls, let me know.
It all comes down to the luck of
Okay. Nervous. Turn it up. Okay. Should be good now. Oh shit, man! I might swear like a sailor in this video. If you're 10 or under, whatever the age is, I don't care. Don't watch this video. I may swear too much for your liking, and especially for a young child. So if you're young, I suggest clicking off. There may be a lot of profanity in this one. Nervous and excited, all kinds of feelings, because we could really see good or bad when it comes to our rebuild. Jeff Myra, yep. A little quiet. It's good now, okay. Okay, hockey guys, please give us something. Yep. Noah Luden, Sens talk legend, says 3 and 5. Watch. I'm hoping you're wrong. Let's go, baby! Woo! Hyped up, nervous as hell, but this is gonna be fun. but my chest really hurts. I'm terrified. It's not like I'm pumped. I'm nervous. I'm all over the place.
Closely as possible
Whew.
to its intended purpose. Tonight is phase 1. So here are the basics. There are 3 separate lottery ball drawings to determine which clubs will have the rights to select the top 3 picks in the 2020 NHL
Catherine
draft.
Tappan, how are you doing?
We will reveal those results. The first drawing for the number 1 pick.
All right, you know what? Here's what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what we're doing. We are doing a final draft lottery simulation. Comment below or in the chat or whatever what your prediction is for that. All right. Let's hope we get 1 and 2 in this one. All right, here we go. Which, by the way, the website I use is Tankathon, or whatever it's called. Let me get to it. Yeah, tankathon.com. It's fantastic. I definitely recommend using it. I did Sims. I got 3 and 5, 70% of the time. OMG. 1 and 5. Sens will win first and fourth. I predict the Red Wings will get first overall. Jacob Davis. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Okay. First, I'm going to lower this because I already read this. Okay, so I'm going to put it up in a second. All right, you ready? Simming the lottery. This is the most likely scenario, so that makes sense. And Andrew Backler, Josh Smear will be very happy for this. First overall, Los Angeles Kings. Second, Detroit. Third, the Habs. Fourth and fifth, Ottawa. Sixth, Anaheim. Devils get to 7th, and Buffalo drops to 8th. We're going to do one more. Detroit, Minnesota, Buffalo, Ottawa, San Jose, Los Angeles. So Ottawa's getting 4 or 5 again. One more. Third time's the charm. 4 or 5. We're going to do 2 more. 4 or 5. Okay, I'm just going to reset the draft. We're going to do it one more time. First overall and 4th. We're going to leave it off right there, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to leave it off right there. All right. Let's get 5 and 6 in the simulation. Brian, unfortunately, did not. Gaby Oates, let's go. Amen. Amen. Second and third would make me the happiest. I'm really not expecting first. That feels like a pipe dream. We have the best odds, so stay optimistic. Hey, it's Marty Brodeur. I wish I could show you this. It's Marty Brodeur. Let me raise that for y'all. Okay, so on a scale to 1 to 10, how nervous are y'all? Because I'm a 13 or a 14. Not 13. That's bad luck. I'm a 14.
We've been fortunate in the last few years to be able to get 2 first overall picks.
Or I'm a 12, 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 12 out of 10. I'm gonna lower this a bit because we're not even at the lottery. We're just talking with the Devils, and if you like the Devils, you can ask 50 views. Appreciate the support, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Alfie. Oh, the stupid camera. By the way, for the upcoming draft, for the upcoming podcast with Scott Wheeler of The Athletic, which will be up on Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe. Plenty of notes. This is just for Alfredson, making the case for Alfie being a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll get to that. You'll see that on Tuesday, I believe. That will be up. Guys, girls, comment below. Start chatting. It's time to get nervous. It is time to get nervous. Wow. Nervous. Very, very nervous. People asking for live stream links. Bam, shoot that link. All right, the next one. Let's go. All right. Oh, like 11. Yeah, 11 out of 10 then. Alfie, good luck.
In addition to its own. So if any of the drawings was won by San Jose, Ottawa would possess the right to that.
Yeah, it feels nice. A year ago, we were talking about how I was reacting to Colorado losing with our pick. This year, oh, Sanders has tweeted something out. And that's Eugene Melnick there. So, okay then. However, by the way, Craig Medaglia was, he left, he quit, I believe, or he just left after his contract expired. And the Sens Twitter hasn't been as good, but I think they hired somebody because the content has improved, but we do miss Craig a lot. What number will laugh where if he's on the Ottawa Senators? Why don't we get first overall before we get there? I like to knock on wood on that. I'm very, very, what do you call it? I'm very, superstitious.
For the Anaheim Ducks, registered nurse Emily White.
Cole Westwell, just get on with it. I know, I'm waiting. Oh, they're honoring first responders. I respect that quite a bit. As a first, not first responder, but as essential worker myself, I'm a grocery worker. Yeah, it's tough. It's really hard out there right now, and every single person that's being polite to us and being very courteous and respectful, and calm and patient with us has been. It's very appreciated, and in a time of uncertainty and full of nerves. It's we really appreciate it, so thank you. And this is definitely a nice excuse. Oh, Canadian, amen. What else is here? Number 12 for laugh. We'll see. Who knows? You knocked on wood too. There you go. Come on, Sens is a combination of our being today. LOL. Yep, Lord of the Rings. Oh, Kelly Cochrane, Superintendent, Ottawa Paramedic Service. That's pretty cool. Good for her. I like that the NHL Network included first responders. That's great. Paramedics, by the way, they are not appreciated enough. And we need to appreciate them more. I respect your superstitions. Thank you very much, Jeff. I've been live now for 36 minutes, and amen, Kelly. But I would really like the draft to begin soon because I am nervous, and I can't be nervous anymore. I can't be nervous anymore.
But also prospects coming up as well. So if the Senators are going to take the first overall pick and win that selection, who do you think they should take? Well,
all right, Sens Twitter.
I think it would be Lafreniere. He's just the obvious answer, and he's.
All right. By the way, get the chat going. I'm going to read your. Oh, there's Lafreniere. Mwah! All right, Lafreniere should wear number 88, like Patty Kane. I could get with that.
For the team for next year. I was about to say, Kelly, you're making me look bad. You know more about me. Kelly, thank you so much for all of your efforts on the front lines, and good luck tonight on the NHL Draft Lottery. Hopefully your team gets to choose a high pick at the very least.
All right, shoot your messages in the chat.
Look at those odds to win the draft lottery, and as I mentioned,
I'll make a ladder while I look at Twitter.
Have the highest percentage if you combine their second and third selection here in points percentage. Of course, that second one coming from the San Jose Sharks when Ottawa traded Erik Karlsson to San Jose. And we welcome in NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman.
There's Gary Bettman.
Lottery room here at NHL Network Studios. Gary, great to see you. Tonight's draft lottery marks the first NHL event since the.
All right, I'm gonna get to your chat now.
12. Where is the NHL right now?
All right.
In regards to the return.
I am also considered an essential worker, working office supplies. Was actually off for 2 months when this is all started. Back at work now. Thank you for everything, Jeff. I'll let you listen while I read.
And we've been working very hard with the players.
Justin J. PD looks very nervous, yes.
And focus on hub cities to make sure we have the right protocol.
Brian G. Charbin, it's supposed to start at 8 o'clock. I'm sure it will begin in the next 10-15. Max.
In place. It's been a very collaborative effort, and I'm hopeful that it all comes together very quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, as are all of us and the fans as well. It's really been interesting because hockey has
okay, both have
isolation. So let's discuss the two.
Boo! I completely forgot the boo. Boo! Screw you, Gary. To be fair, Gary Bettman, not the worst general commissioner in Major League Sports right now. I put him ahead of Rob Manfred, and definitely Roger Goodell. So him and Adam Silver are the best two.
But people re-entering the markets.
All right.
Where their teams play.
Buttman, according to Jeff Myra, yeah.
I think we had 17% of our players outside of North America, and 56% of our players were in the markets in which their teams played. But the goal is.
By the way, Josh, if you continue those stupid remarks, we will ban you from the chat for the day. This is supposed to be positive, and we don't need insults being thrown at people. Oh, those are the balls. By the way, while we started this stream, that is really when the draft lottery took place. That is when it's been decided. We already know Gary knows he's first overall, but that process already went through, and they're going to post it after the draft lottery. There's going to be a full video like they did last year. So it's already been done, and now we just hope and pray and wait.
Starting with bringing Willie O'Ree back into the NHL family. But
Jeff Myra, who let that Leaf fan in here. All fans of any team is welcome. This is just a reaction to me and just trying to interact with as many people as possible, trying to, have some fun during a pandemic and during a time of insurgency. So more fans, the better. I don't care if you're a Leaf fan. Obviously, I just despise your team and your choice of fandom, but I respect you as a person. Besides that choice. So, of course, you're welcome here. Go Westwell. I'm going to puke. Same here. I have dinner right next to me. I've barely eaten. I can't eat. Have Mercy Hockey God switch sisters? Yep. Build towards. Scott Clark. Oh my God. Okay, it's happening. It is happening. No one leave. After the break. Okay, we're not listening to ads. After the break, they are revealing the numbers. Okay, we are probably in the next 10 minutes. I will know what the fate of the Ottawa Senators organization is. So, wow. Feel free to share this thing on your Twitter feeds, etc. Let's get as many people here as possible, and I really appreciate the support from all you here. Pray to the hockey gods. Yes. Jeff Myra, of course. Yeah. Feeling dread, Saif. Me too. Stack with more than 7 cards. That's expected, but they're also... Oh, God, that's not good. Yeah, I just realized that's... Oh, God. Well, that doesn't mean the first overall is gone. It just means, which was expected with the odds, that one of those play-in teams, for some reason, has won a draft lottery position. I'm going to check Twitter. Keep on chatting away. Jack Lucas, you're like a kid on Christmas. You can't wait. Same. I'm on Twitter right now. I'm going to see what people are saying about that. Nervous. And by the way, 55 people here right now. Don't leave. We are about to get to the results. Well, it looked like it was more than 10 cards, so that means Ottawa gets pushed to 5 and 6. Maybe they're just doing that to mess with us. Maybe they're just doing that because they didn't think about that and they just messed up everything and gave 3 playoff teams top 3 picks. That is very likely, in my opinion, over anything else. So NHL is not very well known for marketing well. Disappointed now. I don't know what to think. Okay, I'm looking at a picture right now. That looks like 15 or 20. I don't... Okay, it's like 20... Okay, listen, everybody. It's like 15 or 20... Like, look. It's like 15 or 20 cards deep, so that means nothing. I think it's just a decoy. It's just a decoy. Right now, I'm fully expecting Ottawa to not get screwed over. Knock on wood, but I think the cards has nothing to do with it right now.
Heads the list at number 1 overall as we welcome you back to the NHL Draft Lottery Selection Show, and a number of prospects around the world looking on. But the one with the most anticipation tonight is the projected number 1 overall pick, a 2-time CHL Player of the Year.
Just tweeting out one more time.
Earlier, he told us how he's feeling heading into tonight's draft lottery results.
And I will keep Twitter on, by the way. Follow @Sens_. Okay. Just an interview with Lafreniere. I love you, buddy, but it's just generic pucks in deep. I don't need to hear it. Okay. It started. It's going to start very soon. Penguins or Jacob Davis, completely agree. Penguins shouldn't get it. It should be Detroit, Ottawa, LA, etc. Rossi and Stutzel. I love that. I'd be happy with that. Yeah, no, you're right. The cards mean nothing. They have park cards for all the picks. Oh, there's Eugene. Boo! Melnick out. Melnick out. Screw you, Melnick, man. Ugh. All right. Pierre Dorion, though, by the way. Oh, Bill Daly's on the screen. Bill Daly is on the screen. Let me know if you can hear. I can't take any more either.
Yeah, very
different, but very exciting.
Holy
So,
crap.
first successful step of the return to play.
All right, well, why don't you get things started for us?
So, Catherine, I already have an important development.
8
from
cards.
this. The
Damn
fact
it.
That I was brought 8 cards instead of 7 means that a participant in the qualifying round of the Stanley Cup playoffs has
What a
moved into the
shame.
top 3 overall selection. So,
Not surprising, but what a shame.
that is. The number 8 overall.
8th
selection
overall.
in the 2020 NHL draft
Yeah, I can turn it up.
belongs to the Buffalo Sabres.
Buffalo gets 8th. Wow.
So
Oof.
Buffalo's new general manager, Kevin Adams, will be
Let me know if you guys can
selecting
hear.
8th overall for Sabres.
I gotta
team that
say,
has missed the
Buffalo has a
playoffs for 9
great
straight seasons.
logo. They just,
Buffalo has
like,
selected
their
in the
alternate
top
jersey, I
8
believe it's
in
beautiful.
each of the last 7 drafts.
All right, we're at 7 now.
The number 7 overall selection in the 2020 NHL draft belongs to
New Jersey gets 7th. All right. Okay.
Tom Fitzgerald and the New Jersey Devils selected 1st overall last season, 1st overall in 2017, but they will pick 7th this year. This
Okay, I'm not looking to chat because my TV's a little bit behind. 6th overall.
in the Metropolitan Division.
6th overall is great, by the way. Just saying.
Overall selection in the 2020 NHL draft belongs to
Yes!
the Anaheim Ducks.
Let's go, baby! 2 top 5 picks! Yes! 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 2 top 5 picks. That is it, baby. Give me a top 3 pick.
The number
5th overall.
5 overall selection in the 2020 NHL draft belongs to
Ottawa gets 5th. Okay, so we get a top 5 pick. 5th overall. Drysdale potentially. Who knows?
They dropped to number 5 with the team's own original selection for 2020.
But remember, that's not terrible because San Jose's pick is still available. San Jose's pick is still available. San Jose's pick is still available. LA just moved into the top 3. So it's LA, an unranked playoff team, and 4th overall.
Number 4 overall selection in the 2020 NHL draft belongs to the Detroit Red Wings.
Top 3! It's a top 3 pick! 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 Lafreniere, Byfield, Stutzla, one of them is an Ottawa Senator, baby! Woo! Woo! A top 3 pick for your Ottawa Senators!
So we know the Kings, the Senators, and a team eliminated from the upcoming Stanley Cup qualifying round will select.
It's a top 3! Yes! Finally! Finally! It's a top 3 pick! It's a top 3 pick, baby. It's a top 3 pick, baby. Screw the commercials. It's a top 3 pick, baby. Do you feel it, Sens Army? Do you feel it, Sens Army? It's running through my veins. We are 3 minutes away. Are we getting Lafreniere? Are we getting Byfield? Are we getting Stutzla? I care. I want Lafreniere, but holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap! I'm going to get roasted for this, the way I'm reacting, but it's passion, baby. It's fucking passion. Pardon my French. Whoa! Let's go, baby. Wow. Pardon my French, but let's go. I was expecting 4th. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy shit. Holy crap. Holy. Feel bad for the Red Wings, by the way. They had the worst team in NHL history, and they lost on the top 4. I do feel bad for LA. I'm not LA, Detroit. Sorry. Man, fuck. It's been such a tough 3 years. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll take 3rd. I'll be happy. I want 1st, but I'll take a top 3 pick. We're either getting Stutzla, Byfield, or Lafreniere. And if any of y'all complain about that, y'all need to learn a little bit more about hockey. That's phenomenal. Wow. 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 I just lost my mind on YouTube, on a YouTube live stream. put that on there. Okay, how are y'all feeling in the chat? How are y'all feeling in the chat? How are y'all feeling? So hyped right now. Holy crap. Come on, it's not done yet. Okay. F in the chat for Winnipeg. Detroit. Yep. You're numb, scared. Yeah, well. 3 years. 3 years of misery, man. And listen, I know it's nothing like Buffalo. I know it's nothing like what Toronto's gone through before the last little bit of success, you can call it. But it's been hell, man. It's been hell. And it'd be really nice to get a first overall selection.
Will be heading to one of these two teams, or perhaps the team.
My prediction was wrong. Not 2 and 4. Oh, come on, get on my face. There you go.
Team that will be eliminated
All right.
after the qualifying round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And our first responders looking on in anticipation, Dr. Jacob Hattenbeck, representing his team, the Los Angeles Kings, and Kelly Cochran.
And by the way, it's San Jose's pick. That's in the top 3, not Ottawa. So San Jose feels bad. Bill Daly, 3rd overall.
The number 3 overall selection.
I'm happy with 3. Don't worry. Nothing with though. Give me top 2. Okay, I'll take a top 3. It sucks. It sucks that we lost down Lafreniere, but we got Stutzla and probably Drysdale, which is fantastic. It is what it is, but I'll take it. I'll take 3rd and 5th. That is a solid. That's a solid draft position for Ottawa. So now I'm praying the playoff team did not get first overall. And LA, wow, they're really going to add to that prospect pool, but.
The number 1 overall selection in the 2020 NHL draft belongs to a team.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. What a farce. What a farce. Detroit gets screwed over. Ottawa wins in this scenario regardless, but Detroit really gets screwed over. What a shame. Good for LA with 2nd overall. Wow. What a shame. What a shame.
Keeping up with this unprecedented season, it's the biggest jump ever.
I'll take 3 and 5. First overall, some random. We don't know yet. We'll have to see after the playing round.
Unprecedented draft lottery. No question about that. We're going to talk to Bill Daly. We're going to catch up with Los Angeles Kings as well as we continue to make our way through this NHL draft lottery selection process.
Yeah, I'll take 3 and 5. I will take 3 and 5. I will take 3 and 5.
We'll discuss it and figure out what this all means coming up after.
I'll take 3 and 5. It sucks, but you're still getting an elite player in Stutzla probably, and you're getting Drysdale probably, or Raymond or whatever. So it is what it is. It sucks, but it's great. But the fact that a playing round won that is another farce.
Its skin guard technology absorbs pressure and raises blades to reduce skin irritation. Try Gillette Skin Guard.
All right. Yeah, I know. But we don't know who's going to go first. It all depends on playing rounds and all that. We don't know. Listen, are we really complaining as Sens fans? We had a chance to get 5 and 6. We have a top 3 pick and 5th overall. Detroit, who suffered with under 50 points this year, got 4th overall and no other picks. So keep in mind, Ottawa also has like 3 or 4 second rounders, and they also have the Islanders' first rounders. So let's stay optimistic here. This is still good news for Ottawa. It sucks, but it's good. It's still better than nothing.
Cheddar, jalapeno, and sour cream and onion. The spicy nacho stack.
I wish I could stack Pringles.
Yeah, it is. Graydon Lewis saying the fact that none of us got first overall, complete bullshit. Yep, completely agree. It's a farce. Should never have happened. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a complete joke. That being said, Ottawa getting 3 is good. But if let's say like if Montreal gets first overall, I'll lose all faith in NHL. All the little bit that I had left. But yeah, honestly, I was expecting worst case scenario, and this is certainly not that.
Welcome back, everybody, to the NHL Draft Lottery.
What a joke.
Show, a team yet to be determined will be selecting number 1 overall at this year's draft. Bill, what does this all mean?
Well, it's been a unique year, and we've had a unique draft lottery. It means we're going to have phase 2 of the draft lottery, which is how it was drawn up, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, which means, as I mentioned, I mean, there are 16 teams in that qualifying round that now have something else to look forward to. There's actually a way that a team could win a Stanley Cup and potentially get the number 1 overall pick.
No, it would be a team that is not successful in advancing in the qualifying round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So we'll see. Everybody will have an equal chance, equal weighted chance to win the first.
Why do they have a chance, you dummy? Come on.
Fail to advance.
All right, so we still have a heck of a lot more to look forward to. Isn't that good news in the days ahead? Well, it's been a pleasure to be with you all this evening. Stick around. There's more coverage of the NHL Draft Lottery on NBC Sports Network, Rogers Sports
Noah Luden
NHL Network.
predicted this correctly. All right, I'm gonna get back to the chat. Listen, Ottawa got a 3rd overall selection in one of the deepest drafts in NHL history. They got 5th overall. This is not worst case scenario for Ottawa. This is pretty good. That being said, the fact that a random team got 1st overall, the NHL just really screwed themselves. It's a total disgrace. Aaron Clark, this sucks. Yeah, it sucks that a random team got 1st overall. Yeah. Teams get to play in the playoffs and get 1st overall. Yeah. Brian, mediocre result. Yeah, well, I'll take mediocrity over a complete and utter loss. You know, as an Ottawa Senator fan, I was expecting 5 and 6. We got a top 3 pick, so it's bittersweet, but it's still sweet. Why does a team gets to make the playoffs and get laughed? What the? Oh my god! They should not have a chance. Yep. You want Left Frenier in our division, Dustin J? Yep, I agree. This is, once again, I think it's very, very, very important to mention that I'm very happy with the selection that Ottawa has. I would have preferred 1st. However, I'm perfectly fine with the top 3 pick and 5th overall. You got to remember, there was a 63% chance we were in the first. We were getting a top 3 pick. There's also a close to 50%, 47% chance. Not 47, but you know what I mean, like a 38, 30, whatever. Can't do the math. I'm too riled up, but. Sens talk. Do you think the Kings select Stützle and the Sens get Byfield? Very unlikely. Very unlikely.
A placement holder team has won the lottery.
Fuck! What a disgrace. Do you think the Kings select Stützle? Very unlikely. I think Stützle could be an Ottawa Senator, which is great news. It's great news. How does a play-in team get the? Wow. Detroit really got screwed over here. Wow. Imagine being Detroit right now. Oh, I don't even want to know what their fans are going through. Well, I can imagine it, but you know what I mean. Wow. All right, guys. Guys and girls, chat away. What are y'all thinking right now? What are you thinking after that?
I know that Show and Josh on the Fan 590 Toronto will be carrying on at 9, and Jeff, Elliotte, you and Jeff will be doing your S31 tonight. Central with Pierre Dorion, although we assume we'll have Pierre here.
Everyone's saying conspiracy on Twitter. Won't comment on that. That's your answer.
So, Elliotte, kind of a shocking last 30 minutes. What do you think?
Well, I have some answers for some questions that people are going to be wondering, and that is what happens with this number 1 overall.
Listen, Elliotte Friedman.
A lot of people knew that if the season progressed and we got through the playoffs, the 8 teams that lose the play-in round will have an equal chance at that number one selection. If we are unable to complete the playoff round, for whatever reason, COVID-19, any particular situation, the way it works is this. The
Listen up.
remaining bottom 8, the remaining bottom 8 teams will each have a 1 in 8 chance at that selection. So there's some clarity on how this is going to work from here.
Sam, what's your take on tonight? Well, really unbelievable to think that with all the craziness that's happened already here in 2020 that we've added.
So basically,
and, Alexi Lafreniere
there's no
and,
play-in.
basically
If the NHL doesn't go ahead with if the NHL doesn't go in with the return to play format, either COVID pushing them back or any other reason, Elliotte Friedman just said there'll be a redraft with all even odds to get that first overall pick between all those 8 teams from that lost in the play. And I don't know. This whole thing's confusing. This is stupid. I guess it'll be based off point percentage. You have to check. I didn't really hear.
They're going to be a little bit in shock. I know it's a really deep draft. 3rd and 5th is not awful, but this is a tough blow for Ottawa, wouldn't you say?
Well, I think it reminds everybody, Ron, why this might be the single most important night on the NHL calendar. There is nothing that determines more the future of many of these teams than the results of the draft lottery. If you go back,
All right, I'm cheering for Montreal against Pittsburgh. Oh, I don't even know what's the worst scenario? Is it Toronto getting it? Is Lafreniere going to Edmonton with McDavid and Draisaitl? Is that worse? NHL, are you listening? Is it of course Toronto with Matthews and Tavares? Is it Montreal, Lafreniere staying in Quebec? It's shit. NHL, you're a disgrace. Disgrace. That being said, Ottawa still made out of this with the decent spots. Top 3 pick. We were not guaranteed a top 3 pick. We were not guaranteed a top 5 pick. We got 2 top 5 picks. Be happy. Don't complain. It's the first time in a long time Ottawa's had some sort of optimism. All right, reading the chat now. Stutzel's going to be a superstar like Laff or Byfield. Yeah, I completely agree. Ottawa need that kind of elite talent. Yep, completely agree. LA Kings are deep at center. I wonder if they might pass a Byfield. Well, if they do, their losses are reward. Laugh with McDavid sounds fun. Not gonna lie. Yeah, well, that should not ever happen, and it might. Jeff Myra, I like the picks we got, but it's really unfair. Yep. Who do you pick at 5? Drysdale? Yes, Drysdale.
It's going to be a possibility. I mean, it's always a possibility. You see how a player progresses, maybe he moves to the center ice position, but he's played so well on the wing. That's where he's been asked that before. He feels really comfortable on the wing, and he thinks that's where he can have the best impact. Now, the one thing about Lafreniere is that he has a little more physicality to his game than what we've seen from traditional number 1 overall picks. And so I think that's more suited to play the wing, Ron. And when I look at his overall...
Gonna get to the chat in a sec.
Power play, deadly that he can play and shift from any position, rotate off the half wall and move back to the point, even down low. Also gives you the opportunity for some net front presence.
Yeah, I see a lot of negativity. We got 2 top 5 picks in one of the deepest drafts in NHL history. Listen, I get it's a total disgrace that Lafreniere is going to a playoff team. Can we focus on the positives for the first time in a while? Ottawa got 3 and 5. That's pretty good. I really wish we got Lafreniere, but Stützle is going to be elite talent, and we should be looking forward to Stützle or Byfield, or whoever Ottawa takes, but it better be one of those 2. Now, who would y'all take in with 3rd and 5th overall? Put it in the chat. Pierre Dorion, I really don't think will reach with 3rd overall. I think it's one of the 3 players: Lafreniere, Byfield, Stützle. That's your top 3.
Your thoughts on him, Elliotte, and then obviously this opens the door for such crazy possibilities. The New York Rangers could actually win the Stanley Cup and get the first pick overall.
Jacob Davis, you're cheering for the Pens because you're a Tree fan. I'm friends with your knitting Tree, so I really appreciate the support, Jacob Davis. Stützle and Drysdale, Saif Kai, Ali Khan. I agree. What do y'all think? What else do you guys think? Who's going 3rd and 5th?
Out of my ears if I decided to make too many comparisons out of that, but he had whatever it is, he's got it. And he's the number 1 pick in this draft, and whichever team gets him is going to be thrilled to have him. He's a difference maker. There's absolutely no question about that. And I don't worry the way hockey's going, Ron. I don't so much worry about positions anymore. I look at
this marks the first time in NHL draft lottery history that a team without one of the league's 7th worst records will grab the 1st overall pick. NHL, are you listening? This is stupidity.
He's going to have it all over the place. I mean, I think the way the sport is going,
Such a joke. Jesus.
I think this guy is going to have no problem being successful.
Okay, so Sam, I can tell they're going to bring Mr. Dorion on right now. I know you have tons more on your rankings, potentially how they can go in the draft. If and when we know.
All right. Oh, the chat's going insane. Okay. Drysdale at 5. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Pierre Dorion's on live right now.
Appreciate you joining. Elliotte Friedman's aboard as well.
Pierre Dorion, Sanders general manager, right now. Interview with Elliotte Friedman, Sam Cosentino, and Ron McLean. I'm seeing a lot of Byfield and Stutzel and Drysdale. Yeah. You guys know what you're doing.
But I think we're in a position of strength here.
Yeah, I agree.
2 picks in the top 5. We know we're going to get a tremendous player 3. We'll let Detroit take 4, and we know we're going to get another special 5. So tonight it's a great game for
Detroit should be mad. We got 2 top 5 picks. Detroit should be mad.
We're headed in the right direction. We know that these 2 players are going to be impact players for the Ottawa Senators for many years to come.
Hopefully.
And we're excited about this.
Go ahead, Elliotte.
You know, Pierre, can you give us an idea? We all know who the number
Through the NHL and their
1 player
bias.
is in this
I won't.
draft.
I won't comment on the bias stuff, but this is pretty ridiculous. Yes,
Can
I
you
agree.
give us some idea of what you're thinking there and what your list would kind of look like there?
That's a great question, Elliotte. We're not going to tip our hands too much. We have 3 big months ahead of us for when the draft is going to happen. We know that at 3 we're going to get a great player. We know we're going to get someone that has the chance to play for us as soon as next year. And we're excited about that. And, you know, we're going to let 1 and 2 make their selections. And I think our fans are going to be really excited of whoever we take at 3.
Okay, I'll give you a few of the names, and you tell me, why is Lafreniere a winger and not a center, Pierre?
That's the way he's played all his career. When we had a Zoom interview with him,
Are they talking about Stutzel?
something we approached with him, and he's always played on the wing. And you know, I think Elliotte just stated it a few minutes before. The way the game has evolved now, whether you're a center or a winger, Elliotte sees someone who's got special talent, and he's someone who can create plays by himself. But so is a lot of the players at the top of this draft.
Melnick just put out a statement. Today, our team begins an exciting new chapter with one of the coveted top 3 overall draft picks in one of the most transformational drafts in NHL history. It's a major step forward in our carefully laid plan to build a perennial Stanley Cup contender and champion. Sander fans have reason to celebrate, and we can't wait until we can gather together to support our exciting team as a community.
They're going to take a very good player.
That's the statement from Pierre from Eugene Melnick.
We're excited about this player. For us, you know, we've had a full month of scouting meetings. We've had a lot of Zoom interviews. Our scouts have never watched as much video as they have in the past. We're led by one of the best chief scouts in the NHL, in Trent Mann. And we know that for our organization, for our fans, this is going to be an outstanding pick at 3. And the bonus is we're going to get another.
I'm going to get to the chat soon. Don't worry, guys. I'm just listening to the interview.
Some of them. Stutzel versus Byfield. What are the differences in terms of strength?
Stutzel versus Byfield. Here's Pierre Dorion.
2, 3.
Well, you know, we don't know what's going to happen with 1 and 2, so that we can't speak about. But they're all 3 players are different. All 3 players are different. They all have their strength, and they all have things that they need to improve coming next year. I had the chance to spend quite a bit of time in Germany this year. I went up to Sudbury. I was planning on leaving LA when our last game and spending about 3 or 4 days, or 2 or 3 days with Alex Lafreniere. You know, they're all elite talents. All 3 of them are going to be special players in the NHL. All 3 have I would call what is a dynamic quality about them. They're all highly offensively gifted. Lafreniere does a lot of things with power and hockey sense skills. Stutzel does a lot of things with hockey sense and I would say skill, being able to do with the men in the German league. And Byfield is just he's just so special and raw and powerful in the way he can use his strength, his speed, his skill, his hockey sense to do things. They're all 3 special players. And yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You finish your thought, and then I'll ask you one last question.
No, you know, they're all going to be impactful players at the NHL in due time. And, you know, whatever happens with pick 1 and 2, we know that we're going to get a special player at 3.
What are your thoughts on where they play while we wait for the new season? Would you be comfortable
Well,
with players going to Europe? Would you hope that we don't know if there'll be a CHL?
The last game we lost against LA,
to recommend to your third and
turns out that ended up costing us second
I think
overall.
we'll leave it up to them. I think there's so
In
many
hindsight,
things
we should have won that
happen
game.
from
They
now
would have
to when,
given us the better odds,
hockey
technically.
starts up again for the
We
Ottawa
would have been in
Senators.
LA's
So we're gonna
position.
wait and see. We know that
You
these
don't
players
know that at the
represent
time, but
quality people,
that's the way it
quality
turned out.
We know that they're quality human beings. They all come from great families from all the background that we've done. And we know that they're going to make the right decisions. And if they want guidance from us, we'll definitely give it to them, whether it's LA or the placeholder pick, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I think Jeff Merrick and Elliotte will have you for Ask 31 too, Pierre. So really appreciate this. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Pierre Dorion, GM of the Ottawa Senators. So we're going to take a short break. Sam's with us. We're going to point toward all our platforms and things that are happening in the wake of the 2020 NHL Draft Lottery.
All right, getting to the chat now. Should I lower that? All right, getting to the chat now. Just Twitter's going crazy, obviously. So, okay, let's get to the chat. Yeah, also we're forgetting Ottawa has like maybe 30, not 30, sorry, has like 8 or 9 picks in the first 2 rounds in this draft. 8, like no, that's too much. Like 5 or 6. I think they have like 3 second rounders, 3 first rounders. So there's like 6, something like that, or 6 or 7, I don't know. So we have the draft capital to trade up, get another first round pick potentially. So just take a breath. It sucks. Yes. Sucks. We didn't get first overall. We didn't get second overall. But ladies and gentlemen, we got 2 top 5 picks, and that's pretty damn good. Now I'm going to get to the chat. All right. Holy crap, that's a lot of... Wow. Okay, the chat really went crazy. Scrolling down. Wow. How many... Jeez, there's like pages. Appreciate the support, guys and girls. Drysdale at 5. Byfield drops to 3. I don't see Pierre Dorion passing on him. Of course not. Jeff Myra, yeah, we have the Islanders first rounder. Jacob, Sharks fan here. Sanders fans, please at least try to be grateful for what you got. Do you realize how much many other fan bases, including mine, would kill to be in your position with 2 of the top 5? Jacob, let me respond with this. Personally, thank you for the support. Secondly, I can relate. Ottawa was in this position last year with the best chances at first overall, but we had no chance of getting first overall. It was Colorado's pick. So trust me, Jacob, I understand what you're going through. Trust me. Dory, Brandon, yep, I'm happy. Like I'm annoyed. Like, why is a random team getting first overall? But I'll take 3 and 5. I'll take 3 and 5. If the Islanders get first overall, we'll get a 2021 first rounder.
Yesterday, the NHL hoped that they could announce Vegas and Vancouver as the 2 hub cities. We now know that obviously didn't happen. The negotiations with Vancouver fell apart on Tuesday over things like the number of positive tests that could further delay the season or end the season, and who would stay in the bubble. So that decision probably isn't coming until early next week.
It's just, I can't say it's rigged because I want to go into a future in journalism, but what I will say is it is very questionable how this whole scenario is played out. I'll just put that out there. Okay, announcement on hub cities. It's down to 5. So it's either Chicago, LA, Las Vegas, Edmonton, or Toronto. So I look at that, and it makes no sense because 4 of the 5 are full of COVID-19. Literally, the only one that makes sense there, in my opinion, would be Edmonton. LA, they're being stupid without masks. Chicago is going... all America's full of the virus. I keep it in Canada. I don't know why we're going to America. I don't even know why we're considering America. It should be Edmonton and Toronto.
There have been some rumblings that they could be moved back a couple days, maybe July 13th, but there's no confirmation of that.
All right, reading the chat.
I still think they want players want to know, have a target to when they can get started.
If we were any other team from Brian G. Charbin, I'd be ecstatic with 3-5. However, if we keep the most recent Sens trends in mind, we absolutely need 2 superstars on cheap contracts to have a shot at a cup. Brian, let me tell you something. Ottawa's getting Tim Stutzla, which in my opinion is better, would probably be the first overall selection in most drafts. He has that amount of talent, okay? Let's not forget that. He has the talent to be a first overall selection. Just Lafreniere is a generational Crosby-like player. So you obviously can't draft Stutzla first. But in most drafts, I think he, especially like last year or 2 years ago, he'd definitely be consideration for top pick. But no, I think this is great. This is not the best case scenario, but this is certainly far from the worst. And I'll take something much better than worst case scenario because that's what Ottawa's been doing for the last 3 years. 7 picks in the first 2 rounds for Mike Hines. Yep. So you got potential to trade up. Sens fan effing unbelievable. It sucks. It does, but it's also good. We still got 2 top 5 picks. That's something to be happy about. We are guaranteed a top 3 prospect. Can we not appreciate the fact that Ottawa's going to have a top 3 prospect for the first time in years? This is great news. It sucks that the NHL and the return to play format have really messed things up, but it is good news for Ottawa fans that Stutzla, maybe Byfield, Drysdale, Sanderson, Rossi, Perfetti, Sanderson, Rossi, Jack Quinn, Lucas Raymond, Holtz, etc., etc., etc. 2 of those 10 guys or whatever I said are Ottawa Senators. If you would have heard that at the beginning of this year, what would you have said? And if I said you would have 3rd and 5th overall, would you take it? Probably. So let's just be happy. It sucks, but I honestly was expecting 4th and 5th overall. I said 2 and 4, but I was expecting the dropout. That's just what happens with Ottawa. So it is what it is. Paul Emmons, you should be pissed to be honest. Y'all should be pissed. Yeah, I'm disappointed, but I can't be pissed off at getting 2 top 5 picks. I can't do that. And we have another top 15 with the Islanders. Sorry, Gaby Oates kind of pissed right now. You should be. I'm infuriated. But then NHL gave a playoff team first overall. That infuriates me. But I'm looking at the positives because if I keep on looking at the negatives, I will lose my mind. So I'm trying to keep it cool for the stream. I'm sure we'll definitely Scott Wheeler and I on the podcast from the Athletic. Scott Wheeler will be up on Tuesday. We're definitely going to dive into this, and trust me, I'll definitely voice my opinion there. So stay tuned for that. Like 3 and 5, like now you have a chance. 3rd overall forward, 5th overall defense. 15th, top 15, maybe a goalie, Askarov, who knows? Hockey Snipes, 365. I really hope they do not select Anderson at 3rd overall. I don't think that will happen. Pierre Dorion literally just spoke about Tim Stutzla. And Quinton Byfield and Lafreniere. He mentioned that there's a lot of good forwards, I believe, in this draft, and I'd be shocked if Ottawa doesn't take a forward 3rd overall. I'd be shocked if that forward was not Stutzla or Byfield if he's available. Now, 5th overall, Jake Sanderson, there's the potential that happens. Yeah, that's an Ottawa pick, and I can definitely see Ottawa leaping and taking Sanderson 5th overall for sure. I can see that, yeah. So you'd rather get 5 and 6 than 2 and 5? I don't know if you're speaking to me, Mike. No, obviously not. Clearly not. I prefer 2 and 5. Obviously, for 1 and 2, but I'm fine with 3 and 5. Just keep in mind, we got a 3rd overall selection from San Jose's trade. So you got Tim Stutzla in the Carlson deal. That deal is looking much better now. I'm good with 3 and 5 though. Gaby Oates. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm not. Oh hell yeah, I'm not like that. But I'm like, it's whatever. What it is. All right, I'm checking Twitter now. Keep the conversation going. I think there's a rebrand going on for the Sanders now because the color scheme for all these promos. Mike, okay. Because They're all gold and black. Looks like Ottawa might be having a rebrand. Who knows?
There's a lot of talk about Toronto. There is a lot of talk about Toronto, but like I said before, Ron, as we learned this week, the reality one day is not the reality the next day. Things change so fast, and they changed so quickly this time when everybody thought we were going to Vancouver and Vegas. So if I had to handicap and I had to wager, and I do like to wager, I would probably say right now that Toronto's the lead horse.
Rebrand and new owner would be icing on the cake. New owner for sure. Rebrand. I'm anticipating a rebrand. The gold font is very noticeable. But at the same time, in the background, it is that. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Wow, there's so much to digest about this. I might actually get my friend Noah on get him on here and have a conversation. I'm gonna ask him.
He's been exposed to players at a young age, having billeted the likes of Memorial Cup winners with the Oshawa Generals. So he's been around it.
All right, may even I'm texting urinating tree right now too. We'll see if he can join. Okay, text Noah.
So there's a lot of people. I had him a little bit further down in my top 10. He's been in my top 10 all year long, but he's a guy that might jump up as
Brian Charbin, thanks for the stream. Go Sens go. Hey, I'm here for a little bit, but thank you. I appreciate the support. No disrespect to the popularity of the NHL or hockey, but just imagine how much louder the backlash and social media would likely be if any NFL or NBA allowed a playoff to pick number one in the draft. Yeah, that would never happen. NBA and NFL will never do that. The NHL is just another breed of stupidity. Sometimes. All right. We are going to call former co-host of the Best of 7 podcast, huge Sens fan, and of course, former Sens Talk host or member of Sens Talk, Noah Luden. We're going to give him a call right now and hear what he has to say. All right. Noah, you are live for many people right now. Give us your little take here. This is interesting.
I have no idea what to feel right now. I mean, it's not 5-6, which is the positive news.
Yeah, that's true.
And I will say that over the past week, I literally did say that Ottawa was going to get 3-5, so I'm going to pride myself on that. Yep. But that being said, severely disappointed in the NHL for making such a terrible format that allows a playoff team to also get the number one overall pick. It is a massive joke, and right now the NHL should not be taken seriously. This is insane.
Yeah, it's a complete and utter farce. Not only is the NHL telling teams go play playoff games and get a shot at first overall, they're just making themselves look like a joke. And now, no, I think we got to talk about this. Detroit. Oof, imagine being a Detroit fan right now.
You know, Detroit's been struggling for a little bit, and they did need some luck. But, you know, maybe Detroit could have gone first if it wasn't for the placeholder E team that somehow won first overall pick with a 2.5% chance. That's just insane.
You know, I think it's really funny. Not funny, but ironic. By the way, keep the chat going, y'all. I want to hear what y'all are saying. But I think it's funny and ironic that, you know, you got a team like Ottawa who has 2 picks in the top 5. And Ottawa's pick that they actually owned, not the Carlson pick, was out of the top 3. They got the top 3 pick from San Jose, which is, it's petty, I guess, but it's not shocking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, if the top 2 picks, first off, these teams, the placeholder teams, should not even have a chance at winning any spots in the lottery. Let's be real. Yeah. You get a chance at playing in the playoffs. That's your reward for not playing during the COVID times. Yeah. Realistically, it should be the bottom 8 teams competing. And the second I saw Buffalo falling down to 7, I was like, oh my goodness. Or 8th place or whatever they're drafting. I'm 7th, like, oh my goodness. The NHL is just screwed up so badly. And I mean, so now we don't even know who won the first overall pick. And now teams are going to try to tank.
Well,
it's really insane.
Speaking of the Sabres, The Sabres get the 8th overall pick for the 4th time in the last 8 years, 3rd time in the last 5. So Buffalo, which we're going to probably talk about with Scott Wheeler in the Best of 7 podcast episode, Buffalo has been going through a rebuild for the last 8 years, and now they just got screwed over again. They missed out on the playoffs, and they missed out on 7 elite talented players.
Yeah, the positive news for Buffalo is that this is a very deep draft class, and you're going to get a phenomenal talent even at 7th or 8th overall, you said. So, in the end of the day, it could have been worse. Let's be real. You could have gone down to 9th or 10th, and that's just something that the NHL
was that possible? I don't even know what this draft lottery.
If all 3 placeholder teams got a spot, Buffalo would have fallen down 3. So, I mean, really, it's not the worst thing ever. Obviously, you would rather get into the top 3 if you're Buffalo. They've been struggling for a while. And Jack Eichel, he was hoping that they would get a top 3 pick, but you're still looking at a guy like a Jake Sanderson or a Lucas Raymond or a Marco Rossi or whatever in that sort of 7th or 8th overall spot for Buffalo. So there's reasons for optimism, but I mean, it's very reasonable to be unhappy with the NHL right now, as we Sens fans are and as Detroit Red Wings fans are.
Firstly, let me know in the chat if y'all can hear Noah. I'm putting it up to the mic, so I just want to make sure y'all can hear it. But yeah, completely agree. I think a team still in play getting 1st overall is stupid. It shows how the league is, very inept in doing things properly. Oh, the chat just started bumping. And you can. Okay, perfect. But yeah, completely agree. But honestly, Noah, I want to talk about 3 and 5. I see a lot of people being negative about it, but Ottawa just got guaranteed one of Lafreniere, Byfield, or Stützle, and probably Drysdale, Lucas Raymond, etc. Beginning of the season, if you would have told me Byfield, Lafreniere, or Stützle, or Drysdale or Raymond, etc., will be Ottawa Senators, I would take that. And one of those, well, except Lafreniere or Byfield, most likely, we're going to get 2 elite players. So I think as a Sens fan, you should be really happy.
I think so. I mean, we got about the average outcome that we could have gotten.
Yeah, mediocre.
Worse, it could have been better.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, we didn't know much about guys like Stützle. They weren't really as high rated as they are now at the beginning of the season, but your point still does stand. Like, getting 3rd overall pick and 5th overall pick, that would mean at the beginning of the season that San Jose would have tanked, and no one predicted San Jose to tank this year. And so I think that would be, if you look at it from the beginning of the season, then Sens fans should be very happy with the result. But if you look at it for right now and what's been going on in the past few months and how the standings ended up and the format, I'm slightly disappointed, really. And not that it was 1 and 2 or bust, but like really just the fact that a placeholder team won 1st overall pick. If it was any other team, then I'm okay.
Honestly,
if it was Buffalo, if Buffalo wins 1st overall, fine. We have 3 and 5.
At least a team that deserved it. You know, like a team that didn't make the play-in. At least they won. I'd be like, okay, it sucks, it's crappy, but hey, good for them. You know, it sucks, but hey, that's just the way lottery works sometimes. You know, but a playoff team like Pittsburgh having a chance is Sanders has tweeted out something on their Sends on Demand. I'm just going to read it quickly, Noah, if you don't mind. It could potentially be about a rebrand. So I'm just going to click, I think this is about tickets. I think it's a ticketing strategy. Going to read the chat while this thing loads. Yeah, I mentioned that before Canadian Taco. If Ottawa would have beaten Los Angeles in the final game, in hindsight, they would have gotten 2nd overall. But actually, no. Would they? Because we got San Jose's pick. No, I think it would have been the same. I think Noah, what do you think?
From what it seems like, we would have gotten 2 and 3.
Wow, really?
We would have gotten.
Oh my God.
2 and 3 or 2 and 5 or something like that. But really,
you can't be serious.
Like that is not something that we really have to be.
Can we not talk about this anymore? Oh my God. I'm feeling all this. Oh my God.
I was honestly ready for Lafreniere to become a Senator tonight, especially when I found out we had a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
When I saw, yeah, sorry.
it's probably going to be Arizona because Taylor Hall. Let's be real.
Oh my God. Probably going to be Arizona. And then Austin Matthews will join them eventually.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Or it's just going to be Toronto. They're going to get swept by Columbus, and they're going to get rewarded with Lafreniere. And then the Leafs fans are going to become insufferable.
They're already insufferable. Most of them, not all, but
exactly.
most. What else we got here? Twitter's going crazy. The chat's going crazy. Jeff Myra, he says marketing scheme by the NHL to make money. Who knows? I'm sure they've already posted a full video of the actual lottery draft. So I don't think it was rigged. I think it was just stupidity planning.
So I'd be so not surprised if they rigged the draft. Like,
who knows?
Believe me, like I would be unfazed if someone told me right now with proof that the NHL rigged the draft. Like it just have how everything's been going. They've been losing money. They want hype from those good teams that can somehow get Alexis Lafreniere, and I would not be surprised in the slightest that everyone was saying, imagine if one of the placeholder teams gets first overall pick. Well, there you go. It's like every other year, a team that doesn't really deserve first overall pick gets first overall pick.
I completely agree. But at the same time, at the end of the day, the NHL really shot themselves in the foot here with the stupidity of a draft lottery. But Ottawa is getting one of Stutzlo or Byfield, and I can't stop smiling about that fact because that is great news as a Sens fan.
If I had a prediction right now, I would say the Sens get Stutzlo just because of the LA Kings past players, the LA Kings past picks. They like more of the big burly guys who are very skilled, whereas Stutzlo is not quite like that as Byfield is. To me, I see the Sens getting Stutzlo, the shorter, skilled guy, is what Ottawa is probably going to get. And hopefully, if Jamie Drysdale falls to 5, then come right over, I guess, and we'll make things work. If not, Lucas Raymond, I guess.
Yeah, but first, I'm just going to close the door real quick. Hold on one sec before we continue the conversation. All right, sorry, just gonna close the door. All right, so what was your question again? What do you say again? Sorry, I just had to close the door.
Yeah, I was just saying that I see the Sens getting Stutzlo and probably another forward, honestly, unless they decide to reach on Sanderson, which would not be ideal. I think that the 4th overall team, the Red Wings, go for Drysdale. The
Probably.
top 3 are indeed the top 3.
Yeah. Probably. I completely agree with that. You know, I can see Detroit going for the defenseman, even though they took a German one last year. I could obviously for sure see them taking Lucas Raymond, Marco Rossi. We'll see. I just like the fact that Ottawa gets to pick one of those top 3 prospects, and that's huge. That is
exactly.
It sucks, but as Sens fans, I think this is the first time in a while where we shouldn't be negative. Because you're not Detroit fans, they got screwed over. Like, oof, they really got screwed over. They got screwed over. So
it's like exactly like the Colorado Avalanche did.
Yeah.
In 2018, they were absurdly bad and they tanked.
Well, that's the problem with the draft lottery. You know what I mean?
Yep. I think they give too much percentage to good teams. I know that you don't want tanking in the league, but honestly, these teams should have half of a percent of a chance to win, not 6 or 7. It really is crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
The amount of times, the first lottery of this entire format was when Nico Hischier got drafted.
Yeah.
And the Flyers got 2nd overall. The Flyers were like the best team to not make the playoffs, but they got 2nd overall. Like, it's just...
It is the Senators' fault that there's such thing as a draft lottery. The Senators tanking in the early 90s is the reason for a draft lottery. So if you think about it, it's Ottawa's fault. But at the end of the day, it was probably going to happen regardless of draft lottery.
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't say it's a Sens fault. You can look back to the Penguins getting Mario Lemieux.
Yeah.
Back in the day, so I wouldn't say it's the Sens fault really. It's just it was a thing coming up in basketball as well, and so. And
listen, I get it. You don't want your teams.
How it is.
You don't want your teams actively trying to lose. I completely get that. But at the same time,
no one's gonna. If you're looking at it from a very logical standpoint, no player is gonna sacrifice their body for 82 games just to tank.
Yes, completely agree.
No hockey player, no NHL player wants to tank and get first overall pick. They are not thinking about that. They're getting paid millions of dollars, and they're not just going to sit there and play at 50% of their potential and tank. And the only reason that they would tank is the owner threatening to trade them, which realistically, as much as we can say that it probably happened, I don't see that as true. I think the bad teams are bad, and I think the good teams are good, and I wouldn't necessarily call it a tank, especially in hockey where, the bad team doesn't always lose. I mean, even those terrible Detroit Red Wings, they won 20 games. They won 4 against Montreal. So you can't necessarily say that they're tanking. They were just the worst team.
Yeah. To me. I think when you look at this for Ottawa, okay, you're looking at Ottawa getting 2 in the top 5, okay? You're looking at Ottawa getting 2 elite players that Ottawa wasn't even expecting to get at the beginning of this year. At the beginning of this year, we were expecting a top 3 pick, yes. But that's it. We were expecting San Jose to be a playoff team. We were expecting them to be in the early 18s, like the teens, or of course, the 20s. Ottawa got 2 top 5 picks. And for majority of this year, we did not expect that. So at the end of the day, this is a win.
Exactly. That's really what we got to make it be as a Sens fan base. Like, it's nothing other than a win. It's just, for the NHL as a whole, it is a embarrassment, really.
It is. It certainly is. And, I look forward to seeing what team loses and wins at the same time and getting Lafreniere.
Exactly. It's absolutely a joke. I just hope it's not the Islanders. I want that first round pick this year.
Me too. So let's pray and hope. But Noah, thank you so much for joining the show, and I'll speak soon, okay?
Of course.
Let's play some Shell tonight.
Sometime.
Okay. Speak soon, all right, man?
All right, bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining. That was former Best of 7 podcast co-host Noah Luden. You can follow him on Twitter at Noah_Luden. Now let me get to the chat. By the way, comment, ask questions. I'm here probably for another, as long as you guys want, guys and girls want. We get a top 3 pick, 2 other first rounders, and a hopefully exciting first 2 rounds, so second round. We have all been very quiet and boring drafts in the past. The most exciting I've seen was when we got EK8 at 15th, and when that was in Ottawa. That draft was in Ottawa, so I guess, but we'll see. We got a lot of draft capital. Don't end it at all. Two-Thumb Gaming. I'm not ending the stream right now. Just start commenting some stuff, and I'll answer away. But this is crazy. This is crazy. I gotta say, this is something I was not expecting. Just wow. But please comment your questions. I'm here for anything. I'll probably be here for another 15, maybe at the most. But if there's no questions, I'll end it. But please ask away. I have nothing else to do. We're in the middle of a pandemic, so. All right, let's take a look at this. The last 10 years, I'm going to read to you the 3rd and 5th overall picks. In 2010, we got Eric Gudbranson and Nino Niederreiter. 2011, Jonathan Huberdeau and Ryan Strome. All right, not the greatest start. Huberdeau, Hubie-Dooby-Doo is okay. 2012, Alex Galchenyuk, Morgan Riley. 2013, Jonathan Drouin, Elias Lindholm. Now, 2014, Leon the German Beast, Draisaitl and Michael Cole. 2015, Dylan Strome and Noah Hannafin. They're both seen as busts, but they still got potential. 2016, Pierre-Luc Dubois and Olli Juolevi. 2017, oh, baby. Chef's kiss and a little bit of fire, too. Miro Heiskanen and Elias Pettersson. And that was one of the deepest drafts in NHL history. And this is another one. So A comparable draft for this year would be 2017 or 2016, I guess. So that's good news if you're a Sens fan. 2018, yes, Barry Katniemi and Barrett Hayton. We don't know enough about them. And then, of course, 2019, Kirby Dach and Alex Turcotte, who are both highly regarded prospects. Comments. What the heck is happening between the pipes for Ottawa, Roddy? You got to be a little more specific there. I'm a little confused. Bittersweet win for the Sanders, Jeff Myra. I agree. It's sweet, but it's also bitter, knowing what we could have got. Byfield / Stutzla, Kachuk, and one of our other prospects. Can you imagine that? I know, it's great. Greetings from Mannheim, Germany. Have fun with Stutzla. I'm a Thought 40. Appreciate the support all the way from there in Germany. And if you could comment if you've seen Stutzla or anything, I'd love to hear what you have to say about Tim Stutzla. I'm looking forward to obviously getting him. Jeff Meyer, we have the potential to be better next year for sure. Roddy Rouse, yes. So, what's happening between the pipes for Robert Sanders? I've answered this question quite a bit. I did an interview today for a podcast, and of course, I was I've answered this question multiple times on my own podcast. And basically, what the situation is for Ottawa is Nilsson's a stopgap. Hogberg right now is the number one goaltender, and Decord is the next best option in AHL, in my opinion. Gustafsson has potential. Mandolese and Sogard, we don't know what they are yet, but they look to be full of potential as well. So I'd probably give it to Hogberg right now to be the starter of the future, but Decord definitely is close, and there's plenty of prospects like Gustafsson, et cetera, that can really push for that position. Also, we're going to get Silver 7 Sens writer and host of the Internal Budget podcast, Brandon Maki, on the show in a moment. Just going to tweet that out, and then I'm going to get your comments. My Thought 40, I'm going to read it in a second. Do not worry. Just going to tweet this out. All right. Everything that just happened. I see the chat. Don't worry, y'all. I gotta do two things at once, So just give me 1 sec. I'm trying to be as fast as possible for y'all. But by the way, if y'all like the promos that we made, let me know. I'd love to hear some feedback. Our producer, Jared Elliotte, has been doing great work for us throughout the years, and he's really done a great job with promos. So let me know if you like this as well. Okay, let me read. Yes, I saw every game. Thought 40. What did you see from Tim Stutzla? What should Sens fans like myself be expecting from the German legend? Jeff Meyer, I really think Ottawa needs forwards. Do you agree, or do you think we could use more depth on the D? You could always use more depth on the D. I think a defenseman and a forward in the top 5 is what Ottawa should do. Did Anderson retire yet? No. And we'll see what happens there from Roddy. Next question. I think Hainsey will stick around and could be a great teacher for our current prospects. I love Hainsey to stay on in the developmental position, just like Chris Kelly was. But I don't want to re-sign to play on the ice. Brandon Maki will be joining the show in 5 minutes, so stay tuned. Internal Budget host, big Sens fan, great guy, so stay tuned. I am an Islanders fan. I feel so bad for you in Detroit. I feel bad for you. You don't have a first rounder in this draft, but thank you. I'm gonna open my door. It's starting to get a little hot in here. Thought my parents were home, but they weren't. 1 second. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. Keep on getting up and down. But that's how we do it in the business. All right. I think Ottawa intended on retiring him. Well, that's his decision. Most impressive thing of his game is he's brave, not afraid for mistakes. So he has great, what what do you call it? Ferocity. You know what I mean? I guess that's what that means. Sanders Twitter's certainly something right now. Like the actual Twitter account, not Sens Twitter right now. Sens Twitter is very mad. Experiences in men's league is huge as well. Was centered by Ben Smith of all last season. So yeah, I agree. When I see a player coming out of Europe from a men's league, and he's dominating, that tells you a lot about what type of player he's going to be. Okay, Bren Maki, I'm going to call right now. Roddy, any new assistant coaching changes? No. Actually, the coaching staff's pretty good in Ottawa. Okay, everybody, we are joined here from Internal Budget Podcast host and, of course, Silver 7 Sens writer, Brandon Maki. Brandon, instant reaction.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it for you coming on, and not a problem.
Yeah, no, look, in a vacuum, it's a great scenario. Having the 3rd and 5th overall picks, getting one of Quentin Byfield or Tim Stützle in all likelihood is an amazing scenario for the Ottawa Senators.
For sure.
What really sticks in my craw is one of those play-in teams getting the 1st overall pick.
Yes.
I don't know how, as a league, you let that happen. Like, that doesn't, makes much sense to me, especially when you had teams like Ottawa and Detroit who clearly needed a top pick. That was one of the things that really stuck out to me when this whole return to play proceeding was announced.
Yeah.
But all in all, you can't be mad about having 3rd and 5th because the Senators are going to get 2 fantastic players either way. So all in all, it's a really good night for the Sens. I think if LA or Montreal were picking, not Montreal, or Detroit were picking 1st overall, then we'd be having a different discussion.
Yeah.
But, it's hard to be too upset.
I think we look at this draft, and obviously it's easy to, complain, right? But if you're an Ottawa Senator fan, the beginning of the season, we were anticipating a top 3 pick, and that's it. We have 2 top 5. And that is something we all should really appreciate because Brandon and I did not expect, that's funny to say, but we did not expect to get San Jose's pick to be a top 3 pick. Who would have imagined that? So my instant reaction, I'm pissed off that a play-in team won the thing. I think that I honestly anticipated that. We all knew that some stupidity was going to come out of that, and there it is. But, I think for Ottawa, you got a top 3 pick. There you go. You got an elite talent right away, and now you have options at 5th overall to select whoever you want. 3rd overall, in my opinion, is a lock. It's one of Lafreniere. It's one of Stützle. It's one of Byfield. I think Byfield goes 2nd. I think LA would be stupid to pass on him. But that being said, 5th overall, it's open for anybody. After Detroit, Noah Luden just came on and said he thinks they'll take Drysdale. But if they don't, Ottawa can get Drysdale, Lucas Raymond, Holtz, Perfetti, of course, Ottawa local talent, Marco Rossi. Ottawa's got a lot of different scenarios to play with here, huh?
Yeah, you're going to be able to fill a need either way.
Yeah.
You're going to get one of Stützle or Byfield, and if you pick Byfield, that's your number 1 center. If you pick Stützle, that's the top winger. And then from there, with that 5th overall pick, you can decide where your biggest need is. For example, if Ottawa ends up with Stützle, you can take Marco Rossi or Cole Perfetti to fill that center spot. Yeah. You can maybe take Jamie Drysdale, hopefully, and pick that 4th overall and get that right-handed defenseman. So, look, either way, the Senators are getting 2 fantastic, in all likelihood, franchise players.
Yes.
I think the issue that Sens fans are going to be most pissed off with is the fact that a play-in team, which could potentially be Toronto or Montreal.
Don't even go there.
I know, exactly, right? It's gross to think about. Or even Pittsburgh could end up getting Alexis Lafreniere 1st overall.
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, that's going to be the biggest thing that's a sticking point for Sens fans.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think if Detroit or LA were picking 1st overall, then we would be feeling a different way about this.
Yeah.
But all in all, everything in a vacuum, 3rd and 5th is just a fantastic scenario for a rebuilding team.
I think I can't disagree with that. That is perfectly put because when Pittsburgh, Toronto, imagine Edmonton with Lafreniere. If these teams can really get 1st overall, you know you're doing something wrong. And I just saw somebody comment. By the way, we'll get to the comments in a sec. Roddy mentioned this, and Brandon, I want to hear what you have to say about this. The NHL should delete that placeholder and move everyone up a place and stick that placeholder in the last spot. So Ottawa will get 2 and 4, like I predicted. That would be more fair and sensible. That will never happen, but hey, that makes sense in my opinion. What do you think?
In a perfect world, that makes total sense to me. It's never going to happen.
No.
I think the NHL included these playing teams in the lottery, either knowing or hoping that this would happen, that a play-in team would be jumping into the lottery, into the top 3.
Yeah.
So, I think from a fairness standpoint, when you look at teams like the Senators and the Detroit Red Wings, those are teams that clearly need the reinforcements in the top pick.
Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, I think they love the idea that either, a team like the New York Rangers or the Montreal Canadiens or the Leafs or the Penguins, they're going to get Alexis Lafreniere. I think that's something they were banking on, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully, that doesn't happen. Hopefully it's a team like I don't know, let's say like the Columbus Blue Jackets that end up getting Lafreniere.
That's best case out of the 3 teams you just mentioned.
For sure, yeah, especially when you're talking about the Senators division.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, I think in all fairness, teams that were out of the playoffs should have been the only teams in the lottery.
Yeah.
I don't think having playing teams in the lottery I don't think it was fair, and I don't think it was smart.
Yeah.
But there's no way that the league will bump the teams that, especially now that you have a playing team that's going to pick first overall, guaranteed. There's no way the league's going to go back on that.
Yeah.
But I think if fairness were the key objective here, then one of Ottawa, Detroit, or LA would be picking first overall.
Now, as Sens fans, I think we can relate to what Detroit Red Wings fans are going through right now. Do you have a message to any Red Wing fans out there? Because they just dropped from 4th, and they probably had one of the worst teams we'll ever see in NHL history.
Yeah, obviously picking 4th when you had pretty good odds of picking first is not an ideal scenario.
Yeah. And on top of that, getting bumped from a playoff team. On top of that.
Exactly. But you guys are still going to get a great player. You're going to still end up with a Lucas Raymond, potentially a Quentin Byfield. So at the end of the day, it's nothing to be too upset about. This draft is so deep that it's really hard to complain about wherever you land. But one thing I would keep in mind is that Bowman Byram was, I believe, the 4th overall pick last year. And he could potentially end up being the best pick of that top 10 from 2018.
Hey, and I agree with that. Yep.
Yeah. So, obviously not picking first is a tough pill to swallow. It's a tough pill to swallow for people who are Senators fans as well. But, don't keep your head down, because you guys are going to end up picking a great player in that spot.
And I completely agree with that. Detroit got screwed over, but it's not like they're leaving this with nothing. They still have a plethora of top talent to pick. That being said, Detroit's going to be crap for the next 3 to 5 years. They're very likely going to get a first overall pick between those 3 to 5 years. So I wouldn't sweat it too much, but it does. Trust me. You just lost out on Lafreniere like us. It hurts, and I get it, and it sucks. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Tim Stützle. Because that's the projected pick now for Ottawa. Tim Stützle is projected Ottawa Senator now. So I want to hear your initial thoughts on Tim Stützle.
I love him. I think he's one of the more pro-ready players in the draft, where I think Quentin Byfield might have a higher ceiling. I think Stützle is more ready for NHL action at this very second.
Yes.
So if Ottawa ends up with him, you're getting a player with great offensive instincts, a good two-way game. It's really nothing to be upset about.
Yeah.
Like, this kid is a stud from everything I've seen.
Yep.
So those are my kind of initial reactions to him. I don't think it's a lock that he's going to be number 3. I think especially if Bob McKenzie's rankings are to be believed, I think there's a very good chance that Quentin Byfield falls to 3 or 4.
Hey, let's pray.
As much as I disagree with that, I think Byfield has a higher ceiling than anyone in the draft. I think he even has a higher ceiling than Alexis Lafreniere.
That, ladies and gentlemen, hot take. Wow.
There's your hot take of the evening.
That is a big one.
I think Lafreniere is by far the most pro-ready player in the draft, probably followed by Stützle. But I think when you look at intangibles, when you look at Quentin Byfield's size and his ability based on a player that's not turning 18 until August, a guy who's 6'4" and moves like he's generous 6 feet, I think he probably has the highest ceiling of anyone in the draft. But if the Senators end up with Tim Stützle at number 3, that is a home run. I've heard comparisons to Marian Hossa when you think of him. And if Ottawa gets a Marian Hossa 2.0, I don't think there's anybody in Sens land that's going to be upset with that.
Now, we'll all disagree with you. I think it's pretty obvious. I think Lafreniere has the highest ceiling. That's my opinion. But I can see why you think that about Byfield. When a 6'4" centerman can dictate the ice like he does and skate so effortlessly and, obviously put in the offensive stats that he's done, I completely see it. However, I'm on the fence. If I didn't need a center, I would certainly look at Tim Stützle going second overall. That being said, if you need a number 1 center, Quentin Byfield is your guy. This guy should go second overall, in my opinion. Regardless of what LA needs, he is a complete and utter stud. All right, but Tim Stützle, the guy that Ottawa is likely going to get, you got comparisons to Marian Hossa, now Hall of Famer, and if we can get a Hall of Famer here, that will definitely pay dividends down the road for Ottawa.
Yeah, and it's like you said, missing out on Lafreniere, it sucks, especially when you combine Ottawa's 2 picks, they had the highest odds of getting him. But at the end of the day, one of the main arguments that you hear from people within the scouting sphere is quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Ottawa has likely the deepest overall prospect pool in the National Hockey League.
Without doubt.
And now you're adding in 2 top 5 picks in the deepest draft in maybe 10 years. So either way you slice it, this is a home run draft for the Senators. Regardless of not getting Lafreniere, or even if they miss out on Byfield, you're still getting a Tim Stützle, you're still getting a Marco Rossi, a Jamie Drysdale, a Lucas Raymond, one of those caliber players. Mm-hmm. So there's no way that Ottawa comes out the loser in this situation.
Yes, for sure not.
Again, I'm not thrilled with the idea of a play-in team getting Lafreniere. I think that's ridiculous. But as a Sens fan and as someone who wants to see this team succeed and wants to see them build to be a Stanley Cup contender, it's really hard to be upset about this draft.
And I wanted to mention something to you from Pierre Dorion just now. He said he'll listen to the other GMs on the 3rd and 5th overall picks, but he's 99.9% sure he'll keep the picks in such a strong draft. I think that's expected for the general manager to say that. We're going to keep our options open. It's like the generic pucks in deep speech. Yeah, we'll look at what our options are. We'll always explore all options. He's not trading the 3rd overall pick. If he does, he's going to get fired. There's without a doubt. You don't trade the 3rd overall pick. The 5th overall pick, though, could be in play. If they want to move down a spot or 2, if they're higher on Jake Sanderson, for example, they acquire more talent or prospects for a player. I could see that happening, but the 3rd overall pick is not going anywhere, in my opinion.
I don't think they're moving out of the top 5. I think if any pick is going to be on the move, it's either going to be that Islanders pick or one of the second rounders. Mm-hmm. But obviously any good GM is going to listen to any offer he gets, especially when you're talking about lottery selections. Yeah. But I don't see those 3rd or 5th picks going anywhere.
Now, when you think about that Islanders pick, likely in the top 15, we could look at Yaroslav Askarov, the top goaltending prospect. You could look at Jack Quinn, even maybe Holtz if he's there. You got some good options. Jarvis is a really underrated center, so if Ottawa goes with Stützle and Byfield's not taken, and then they take a defenseman, they want a center, Jarvis is a pretty good one. There's some options. So what do you think Ottawa does with that Islanders pick?
It's tough to kind of forecast because it really is going to depend on that 3rd and 5th.
Yeah,
I think all the guys you mentioned are prime candidates. I think you can see Seth Jarvis going with that pick. Askarov, I don't know, just because I don't quite see him getting out of the top 10, especially if you factor in Chicago into the situation. Yeah, I think if he falls to the Blackhawks pick, then he's going to end up in Chicago. Yeah. But if we're talking, people have said that they think Ottawa should stick with the goaltending prospects that they have. I do disagree with that in the sense that I don't think you should take any prospect as a sure thing.
Yes.
Ottawa has 4 or 5 fantastic goaltending prospects, but ending up with an Askarov should definitely not be looked down upon. Like you said, I like Jarvis. I think Sanderson is a little overly maligned for his skill set. I don't know if he's a top 10 player, but a top 20, I think I would definitely take a flyer on him. And who knows, right? The draft is tricky. Maybe even Anton Lundell will fall that pick and Ottawa ends up with him. So if you take Stützle and, then you take whoever with shift, you can end up with a center like Lundell.
Yeah.
Anything can happen, and any way you slice it, at the very least, with their first 3 picks, the Senators are going to end up with some fantastic players.
And I think what's important is just before you joined the show, I mentioned how Tim Stützle. By the way, I'm going to get to the chat in a second. I see you all mentioning my name and everything. I'll get to that in a second. I mentioned that Tim Stützle is certainly a player that in most drafts, in my opinion, would likely go first overall. What do you think about that take?
Yeah, I think what you tend to see is that the most pro-ready guy goes first overall. So, look, Alexis Lafreniere is a special player from everything I've seen of him. I think if you're looking at any other draft that Lafreniere is not in, you're making a serious argument that Byfield or Stützle goes first overall.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about the most pro-ready guy between Byfield and Stützle, it's Stützle.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I think Byfield has the higher ceiling, but there's no argument to be made in my mind that if you're looking to transplant a guy into the NHL today, then it's Tim Stützle aside from Lafreniere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think absolutely there's a great argument to be made that Stützle would go first overall. I think there's a lot of teams that would look at Byfield just because of the emphasis that's placed on having a natural center, as well as when you factor in his size and just his overall skill. To me, he strikes me as a new age Eric Lindros or Evgeny Malkin, but I don't think you're off base at all to say Tim Stützle is a top prospect in an Alexis Lafreniere-less draft.
What was your initial reaction when you saw Ottawa was not going to get the 6th overall pick? Before we saw 5th overall, what was going through your head?
There was definitely a sense of relief. Obviously, when the card for 5th came up and it was Ottawa, I was a little disappointed. But by the same token, I also knew I was on the Zoom chat, the Sens Twitter Zoom chat there, and we were talking about how the fact that the Senators were going to end up with 2 top 5 picks either way, which for any team is basically unheard of, right? To have 2 picks within the top 5 of any NHL draft.
Unless you're like Brian Burke in Vancouver with the Sedins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't happen too often. So having those 2 top 5 picks was awesome, but there was definitely a little twinge of disappointment when you realized it wasn't going to be 2 top 4 picks or 2 top 3 picks,
Yeah, firstly, the first wave of anxiety, minus all the anxiety I was facing throughout the day, just based off the anticipation for this draft lottery, was certainly when I saw that guy holding like 10 or 15 cards. I was like, oh, no. But then people, thankfully, in the chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thankfully, though, I got a live chat here gearing me on the path to happiness. And they told me that it's nothing. And then I saw, I think, Sens Army or whatever tweet something that it was like 30 cards. So it was just a decoy. But, hold on. Hi, boy, centerman position is stacked. So let's talk about that. Now that Byfield is projected, not likely, but projected to not be an Ottawa Senator, what's your take on the Senators' center depth? What happens now for Ottawa down the middle?
I think you have some solid center prospects in the likes of Josh Norris but at
Pinto
the end of the
and
day,
stuff, yeah.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think the best that you can hope for out of those guys, and listen, I hope I'm wrong here because they're all phenomenal players. Yeah. But I think the best that you're hoping for out of those guys is 1B type players, like perhaps a prime Kyle Turris.
Yes.
But I've heard Logan Couture as a projection for Josh Norris, and if that's the case, then he's definitely a number 1 center. Yeah, for sure. But, I don't think, I think there's a reasonable chance that Quentin Byfield falls to 3.
I'd say there's definitely better than a 30% chance, yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And if he does, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You take him right away. So then you're looking at a center core of Quentin Byfield, Logan Brown, Colin White, Josh Norris. that's a pretty stacked group of centermen.
Yes.
Especially when you factor in guys who maybe aren't here for the long term, like Chris Tierney and Artem Anisimov.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't end up being Byfield and Stützle ends up falling to the Sens, they still have a great chance to get a really good center prospect like Marco Rossi at number 5. So I don't think there's a scenario where the Senators don't take at least one center with those 2 top 5 picks. Maybe I'm wrong there. The Sens have done some off-the-wall things in drafts in the years past.
For sure.
But I think the center position right now, when you're looking at the future, I think it's in a great spot.
Yeah.
But I don't think you have that game-breaking star player talent yet. And that is, to me, is what you're looking to fill with one of Marco Rossi or Quentin Byfield or even Tim Stützle. He's a natural winger, but he's played center.
Yep.
If you want to move him to center, that's a possibility too, right?
And
so
Dorion spoke about that today.
Exactly. So I think, to me, that is a position that's definitely going to be that number 1 center position, that star center position is going to be filled in the draft. But when you're talking about the overall prospect pool, I think the Senators' prospects of Josh Norris and Logan Brown and Colin White, I think that's the envy of the league, to tell you the truth.
I think what you said is spot on. I was on a podcast today, and what I said there, I'll say it again. What Josh Norris and Shane Pinto remind me of is Turris and Brassard.
Definitely.
1A, 1B scenario. I need a top-line center. And Logan Brown, like I said in that podcast, and I'll say it here, I think next year is Logan Brown's make or break year. With Ottawa now having a 3rd overall pick and 5th, they're very likely, and another top 15, they're very likely to get a center. And that center is very likely going to compete with Logan Brown. Logan Brown's already been pushed to 2nd in the rankings for centers, in my opinion. Josh Norris has leapfrogged him. And Shane Pinto, another big year, will push him to 3rd now. So Logan Brown really needs to play, and he really needs to stay healthy. So we'll see what happens. And, it's all up in the air. But people are saying here, Methot 40, by the way, Brandon, this guy says he's from Mannheim, Germany. He says that he's seen almost all the Stützle games. He's actually providing links and stuff. He says he doesn't see Stützle as a center, to be honest. So what do you have to say about a line of Brady, Stützle, and Norris in the middle? What's your initial reaction to that sexy line?
I think sexy is the perfect word for it. Go. You get a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Stützle provides a little bit of a two-way game. We know what Brady brings at this point. Yeah. He's a dominant power forward. He's so strong on the puck and is so talented at getting the puck to the net.
Definitely a young eventer came. You know what I mean?
For sure. And then you have Josh Norris, who, like we said, could end up being a Logan Couture type player.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any scenario where the Senators are going to lose in this draft.
Yeah.
You can pretty much pick anyone from that top 10, and you're going to end up with 2, if not quality players, you're going to end up with 2 franchise players, or at least 1 franchise player. Yeah. So I'm definitely A-okay with a line of Chuck Norris and Tim Stützle.
And I read it already for the live stream, but I don't know if you saw Brian Fraser's tweet looking at 3 and 5 past selections from 3rd and 5th overall. Have you heard those, or do you want me to read that to you real quickly? I want to hear your reaction on that.
Yeah, put it out because I haven't read it yet.
Okay, I'm gonna read that to you because trust me, this should get you going. This is definitely a solid list of players. Where is it? Where we go? Oh, here we are. Okay, so we go back to 2010. It was Branson and Nino Niederreiter. 2011, Hubie Doobie-Doo, Jonathan Huberdeau, and Ryan Strome. 2012, Galchenyuk and Riley. 2013, Morgan Riley. 2013, Jonathan Drouin and Elias Lindholm. 2014, Leon Draisaitl, the German legend. Maybe another German legend going 3rd overall this draft, and Michael Del Cole. 2015, Dylan Strome and Hannafin. 2016, Pierre-Luc Dubois and Olli Juolevi, one of the deepest drafts in NHL history there. Another deep draft, 2017, was Miro Heiskanen and Elias Pettersson, which Brian put a fire emoji next to because that is, I don't know how those didn't go 1 and 2. 2018, Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Barrett Hayton, and then last year, Kirby Dach and Alex Turcotte. So that is most of those players, I'd say, are top players on their respective teams. I'd say at least half.
Yeah, either way, even if you don't end up with a franchise-defining player, you're going to get at least one guy who is a bona fide upper echelon top 6 forward.
Yes.
And And that's what the Senators really need. They need a guy that's going to be able to produce at a top 6 level. I think Drake Batherson has shown glimpses of it.
Yes.
When you're talking about guys they currently have in their system.
Yeah.
I think he's primed for a big year this year. Brady Tkachuk obviously has 2 big years in his career now, especially when you consider how bad the Sens have been over the last few years.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think especially if history is any indicator, this is really a no-lose situation for the Sens. Again, I would have really liked to see Alexis Lafreniere in an Ottawa uniform. But at the end of the day, it's really hard to be upset about getting a Quentin Byfield or a Tim Stützle or even a Jamie Drysdale or Marco Rossi, right?
Yeah.
So either way, Ottawa wins in this situation.
Now I'm just responding quickly to a couple. The chat's going crazy right now. I don't know how we still have 20-something people. It's been a 2-hour, stream. But Jeff Conway on Twitter at JeffConway25. Let me read this to you, okay? 2 of Stützle, Byfield, Drysdale, Rossi, Perfetti, Raymond, Sanderson, as well as hopefully a guy like Jarvis, like we mentioned, with our third first, on top of Brandstrom, Drake Batherson, Josh Norris, Christian Wolanin, who is very forgotten for some reason, JBD, Dacord, Hogberg, Shane Pinto, Logan Brown, Alex Formanton, Thompson, Abramov, Balsters, and a plethora of second-rounders. Brandon, I think the Sanders are going to be just okay.
Yeah, I really think that's the best you can hope for. Yeah. We talked about it beforehand, how the Sens have probably the deepest overall prospect pool in the league. Now you're factoring in 2 top 5 talents and then another first overall or another first round pick on top of that. Yeah. It's been a really rough few years in Sens land.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
And I think the future is bright. I think you have that core in place of those guys, like you mentioned, like Brandstrom and Wolanin and Drake Batherson and Alex Formanton and Logan Brown and Josh Norris. Yeah. But I think those game-breaking talents are going to be found in the top 5 of this draft. And I think picking a guy like Tim Stützle or Quentin Byfield or a Drysdale or whoever is really going to put this team over the hump when you're looking, especially 2-3 years down the line. So it's really hard for me to visualize a scenario where the Senators don't come out as winners in this draft.
Yeah, it will take Ottawa special powers for them to really mess up here. I don't you're getting the top, like we mentioned multiple times, the top 3 picks are all first overall potential, in my opinion. Like, not for this draft, but I mean in general, they all have the potential to be first rounders in a different draft. It just so happens that they are in a draft with Lafreniere, who's basically the next Kane, Hossa, Crosby, whatever you want to call it. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to be a generational talent, and Ottawa missed out on that. But Eli French asks, and a little bit of a Kings question. I want to switch things up here. Do you think the Kings take Byfield with second, considering Carter and Kopitar are getting old? I say yes. Brandon, I think you have a different opinion.
This one's tough because if you're talking about a team like Los Angeles, they have a very deep prospect pool, especially on the blue line.
And center too.
So for me, it wouldn't surprise me if they take Stützle over Byfield.
Yeah.
But then again, it also wouldn't surprise me if they take Byfield over Stützle.
Yeah.
So I know that probably sounds like a bit of a cop-out.
Yeah.
I think
I get what you're saying.
I think gun to my head, and this is just my gut feeling.
Yeah.
I think they take Stützle.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it really would not shock me if they take Byfield. You can't miss either way. I think if you're looking for an NHL-ready player, you take Stützle.
Yeah.
And I think if you're taking the guy with the highest ceiling, you take Quentin Byfield.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that a lot of people don't consider is it's not that Quentin Byfield had a bad year by any metric. It's that he slept on. People evaluate him based on a World Junior where he was playing 4th line minutes as a 17-year-old. People evaluate him on a CHL season where he missed a good amount of games due to injury. I really do believe that out of anyone in the draft, he has the highest ceiling. And is that me unequivocally saying that he'll be better than Alexis Lafreniere? No, absolutely not.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Yeah. But would it surprise me if the best player that comes out of this draft 20 years from now is Quentin Byfield? No. The answer is no. That wouldn't surprise me at all. So I think as of right now, as of this very second, knowing what I know about the Los Angeles Kings, and I'm not an expert on that organization by any means, I would lean towards Tim Stützle.
Yeah.
But taking Byfield wouldn't surprise me, and it's like I've said a million times tonight, and I'm going to keep saying it until draft day.
Yeah.
One of Byfield or Stützle is a home run, grand slam, walk-off in the ninth inning of the World Series for the Ottawa Senators.
This best case scenario is 1 and 2, but this is very close to it. You're getting an elite player in a prospect pool that wasn't given enough credit because none of the prospects were seen as superstar potential. That's going to change whenever the draft is, because Ottawa now potentially has 2 players that are superstar potential.
Yeah, and it might even be more than that. We've heard Pierre Dorion say that they think they're going to get quality players all the way up until the 3rd round.
Yeah. So
when you factor in that guys like Drake Batherson and, even Mark Stone have been later round picks, it's very plausible that the Senators are going to get 3, maybe even 4 or 5 guys who end up being upper-end players on this team in this year's draft.
Yeah.
If you're talking about guys who are going to jump into the NHL right away, I think you're looking at those 3rd and 5th spots. I think guys like Lafreniere, Stützle, Byfield, I think those guys jump onto an NHL squad immediately. Yeah. But either way, this is a really exciting time to be an Ottawa Senators fan.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of that, as an Ottawa Senators fan, you look at Stützle, you look at Lafreniere, you look at Byfield, you look at all these elite talent. What's uncertain, though, like we kind of touched up on, is that Islanders first rounder. Now, you look at that pick and you're like, should Ottawa trade it? Should Ottawa keep it? What do you think happens with that pick? Do they select? Do they trade up? Do they trade down? What do they do?
I think Pierre Dorion is really going to look hard at moving that pick.
I think so too, to be honest.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I would kind of like him to keep it, just because, keep your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Unless they can trade up and end up with another, top 15 player, let's say.
Like Lunda or Holt or
correct.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think if anything, they look at moving some of their 2nd round picks because they do have an abundance of those.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't shock me to see that pick get traded. The other part of the equation is we don't know what's going to happen in the play-in, right? For all we know, that Islanders pick could be getting Alexis Lafreniere.
Yeah.
So
that would be something.
The play-in, if and when it happens, is going to tell the story for that Islanders pick for the Sens.
Yeah.
But does Pierre Dorion look hard at trading it? I think so. I think there will be plenty of teams that are calling about that pick in such a deep draft. And if you're the Senators, at a certain point, you need to start adding pro-ready guys.
Yeah,
prospects are great, but you need to start adding guys that can slot into your NHL roster right now.
Yes.
And there are plenty of young guys that teams will look at trading when you think of, even guys who may not be worth a first-round pick like Jesse Puljujarvi and Josh Hosang. Those are guys that the Senators could be targeting.
Yeah.
So I think there's a vast array of scenarios where that pick ends up being traded.
Yeah.
But also, I think there's a very reasonable chance that the Senators end up holding onto it and trading some picks in the 2nd and 3rd or 4th round.
Now, we are getting a few questions here from some fans, so I want to ask you a few of them if you don't mind.
Yeah, fire away, man.
Firstly, Hype Boy Arash7 asked, hey, could Drysdale be the pairing for Shabbat? What do you think about that? That'd be definitely an offensive pushing T-pair, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at pairings for Thomas Chabot, you need to
Sanderson.
find his kind of Mark Method.
Like, Sanderson would be perfect, in my opinion.
Yeah, Sanderson wouldn't be a bad pick by any means if we're talking outside of the top 5.
Yes, I agree.
Could it be Drysdale? Absolutely. If Marco Rossi or Lucas Raymond are taken 4th overall, to me, I would not mind taking Jamie Drysdale at 5.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to take Drysdale 5th.
Yeah, I think Ottawa's number one need is that number one center position like we talked about before. So whether you fill that with a Quentin Byfield or even a Tim Stützle or Marco Rossi, that needs to be addressed within those top 5 picks.
Yeah.
But a Drysdale at 5 is not a reach by any means. I think you're going to see a lot of people that would rather take him in a 6th or a 7th spot behind guys like Lucas Raymond and Rossi and maybe even Cole Perfetti or whoever. But it's possible for sure. I think if it's up to me, I would rather someone a little more defensive-minded.
Yes.
But I would not be displeased with Jamie Drysdale at 5.
Yeah. Drysdale I want at 5th, and obviously I'd take Rossi or Lucas Raymond. I honestly don't think one of those 3 people I just mentioned, Rossi, Drysdale, Raymond, that's who's going to go to Detroit, in my opinion. But we have another question here from Canadian Taco, and I want to ask you this one. What do you think of the Karlsson trade now? The fact that it's turned into a top 3 pick, potentially Byfield, potentially Stutzel. I'm looking at a live stream right now from the Hockey Guy. He puts Byfield 3rd overall to the Senators. What are you thinking now from that Karlsson trade?
Here's the thing, and this is something I talked with Shaila Anwar a couple weeks ago on my podcast about.
Great episode, by the way.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
No problem.
I think, in principle, the Erik Karlsson trade will always be a fundamentally bad trade.
Yes.
Just because of what it stands for. You have
for the community in Ottawa.
Yeah, and you had a generational talent that you shipped away because you didn't want to pay him big money that he deserved. But if we're looking at it purely from a hockey standpoint, you're now talking about a trade that yielded Rudy Balcers and yielded Josh Norris and now yielded one of Quentin Byfield or Tim Stutzel. I think Erik Karlsson's gonna have a resurgent year this year now that he's had some extra time to get healthy, which is something he hasn't had, I don't think, ever in his career.
Yeah,
even when he had the Achilles injury, he came back
right
within
back,
a few months.
Because it happened in the playoffs. So
exactly. So I think I do think we're going to need more time to evaluate it. I think you really are going to have to see the career trajectories of guys like Norris and Balcers and whoever the Sens picked in the top 3. But as of right now, it's not a trade that I dislike from a hockey standpoint. I'll say that.
I agree.
From a principle standpoint, I will always have an issue with that trade. And I will always think it was one of the worst trades in hockey history.
Shouldn't have happened.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
that being
if
said,
you're talking purely from an on-ice hockey position, the Sharks got one fantastic, amazing top-end player, and the Senators have the potential to get at least 1 and
2.
And if not 2 top-end players, then an elite player and another 2 or even 3 guys who are really important to the hockey club.
Listen,
So I think as of right now, that trade is a win for Ottawa. But it's like the Gretzky trade. It's not something that's going to be able to be evaluated in its totality for another 10 or even 15, 20 years.
I think that trade, when you trade for prospects, you trade for draft picks, you hope one of them is going to hit. One of those prospects is going to hit when you trade an elite player. You hope one of them is going to be like, this guy is going to be the future, right? And this trade potentially gave us 2 players like that. Byfield or Stützle. Norris, who's certainly going to be a top 6 forward for the Senators in the future, in my opinion, who's projected to be like Logan Couture, like you said, or mentioned to be sort of like playing like Logan Couture. And then you got Abramov and Davidson in that. No, that was from the Columbus deal. But you obviously got Rudolph. You got Rudolph Balcers from that trade, and Chris Turney, who can be flipped for assets. So honestly, that trade at the end of the day, not the worst return. At the time, we were bitter about it, but now it's a bittersweet trade, just like this day. It's a bittersweet.
Yeah, and I've been as critical of Pierre Dorion as anybody.
Yeah.
And say what you will about the ownership situation in Ottawa and their financial straits.
Yeah.
But I think Pierre Dorion deserves all the credit in the world for making the best out of a bad situation. I can't imagine for the life of me, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't want to put words in the guy's mouth.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine that trading Erik Karlsson and trading Mark Stone were things that he, as a smart hockey guy, wanted to do.
I don't think he did. I don't see why he would want to do that.
But when you look at those trades and you look at the fact that Karlsson yielded, like Norris and Balcers and this top 3 pick, and you look at the fact that Mark Stone turn it into Eric Brandstrom.
And that's it.
Yeah, I think it's the best. I think it's the best scenario you could have hoped for. I'm still a little burned up about the fact that Ottawa didn't get a first in that Mark Stone trade,
especially for the sign-in trade.
Exactly, especially for the sign-in trade. But at the end of the day, especially when you factor in that now Ottawa has 2 top 5 picks in the deepest draft in over a decade, it's really hard to be upset about the guy. You can say what you will about the Alex Burrows trade and the Mike Hoffman trade, but when it counts, Pierre Dorion seems to have risen to the occasion, especially over the past couple of years.
What I'll say about Pierre Dorion is the cards that he's been dealt have been pretty crappy, and he's turned them into gold, if that makes sense. He's got a royal flush, whatever poker terms you want me to say. He's really done well. The Mark Stone deal wasn't as great as we thought because he kind of went down to the wire, and they had no leverage somehow. They shot themselves in the foot. They lost all leverage by waiting to the last minute. That's what they did, and with a bare bone management crew, that's what's going to happen. We're going to get to a couple more questions before I let Brandon go and we end the stream. We've already been streaming for 2 hours and 25 minutes, and we still have 20 people here for some. Appreciate the support, guys. Wow. Y'all been here. We've had so many views, and I really appreciate the support. But Jeff Myra asks, where do you see White on our prospect pool? Do you see him next year as a make or break year for him? I wasn't all that impressed with his game, even when he was healthy. I also don't see him as a top 2 center. Brandon, what do you think about Colin White and his progression and his future?
Well, listen, I'm a guy who in the past has seen Colin White as that kind of 1B center in the same vein as Kyle Turris. I still think he could end up reaching that potential. I think a more reasonable projection for him now would be that kind of bottom 6 role.
Yeah.
I don't view next year as a make or break year for Colin White in the slightest. Look, like he had some injury trouble this year, and one thing that people didn't talk about a lot was when he had his first season where he put up the 40 some odd points.
Yeah.
He was playing with Mark Stone on his wing for most of that year.
Yeah.
So now you take a kid who is in his second real pro season. You remove Mark Stone from the equation. You add a lower body injury that hampered him for at the very least a period of a couple months. And I don't know why people expected the moon from Colin White, especially on a team that was as bad as the Senators.
Yes.
So to me, I love his two-way game. I think he's going to be a guy that at the very worst provides some secondary scoring for a team that is going to have some high-end offensive talent over the next few years.
Yeah.
But no, I don't view Colin White as having a make or break year this year. I think I probably would have him below Logan Brown and Josh Norris. But I think Colin White's future on the team, especially with the contract that he has, is all but assured.
Yeah, I don't think you can trade that contract at the moment because we don't know what Colin White really brings to the table. And I wouldn't trade him. I don't know why people are saying that. I would not trade Colin White. I think next year is a year where he can surprise, but I'm not expecting a surprise. Like you said, if he can play with if he finds chemistry with Tim Stutzla, maybe that changes things. But yeah, honestly, I think we all got a little too high on him. And I think Mark Stone really helped him get that contract. So good for Stone to help him get his payday. But yeah, at the end of the day, Colin White, he has great skill, but it's not translating like we thought it would.
Well, look, I think maybe people thought of White being in a different role that is suited for him. Do I think he's a guy that's going to put up 100 points in an offensive role? No.
But he's a guy like Jeff Myra said here. He's asking if we think he can reach the 40-50 point mark with a talented player with him. I think, yeah, he's done that already with Mark Stone. He's a 40-50 point guy with another guy with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Colin White is best case scenario on a contending team. He's a second line center.
Yeah.
And I think at the very worst, he's a highly effective third or fourth line center. Yeah. I think he's going to get you plenty in the way of secondary scoring, especially when you consider the fact that as deep as the Senators project to be over the next few years, he's going to be playing with guys like Rudy Balsters and Alex Formanton on his wing. So, yeah, I think if anything, White was the victim of expectations that were not suited to his skill set.
Yeah.
But to say that he should be traded is nonsensical.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially when you talk about the injury he had this year and just the scenario that the Sens are in as a team.
Yeah.
If and when Chris Tierney and Artem Anisimov are out of the equation, Colin White is getting solidified third or fourth line minutes, you're going to see what kind of player he is. And I think it's a player that Sens fans are going to be very happy with.
Now, before I let you go, I got a final question here from Matthew Anktil. Now, he asked, who do we see us taking third and fifth overall? So I'm not going to ask you that again. We already spoke about it. Stutzel or Byfield and Lafreniere, or Drysdale at fifth, or Lucas Raymond, etc. We already went through that, but he also did ask, what position do we need to fix up? So my question for you, based off of Matthew's question, is what position needs to be patched up the most for the Ottawa Senators organization?
Well, if you're talking patched up, if you're talking
what's the biggest hole in the organization? What's the biggest need right now?
Yeah, I think the biggest need is still that number one center role. I think especially when you look within the Atlantic Division and you look at guys like Patrice Bergeron in Boston, and you look at Austin Matthews and John Tavares in Toronto, and Jack Eichel in Buffalo, you need that game-breaking center.
Yeah.
So that's where Quentin Byfield, to me, would be a really nice pick for Ottawa.
Yes.
I think a winger like Tim Stützle would be fantastic as well.
Yeah.
But I do think taking Jamie Drysdale is something that would be slept on, in the sense that in terms of right-handed defense, Ottawa has a plethora of good prospects when you talk about Lassie Thompson and you talk about Jacob Bernard-Docker.
Yes.
But
two great players.
But again, if we're thinking of guys that are going to bust the game open on their own, Drysdale, to me, fits into that mold. The Senators have already made it clear that they're not so eager to play Eric Brandstrom on the right side.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like a pairing of Shabbat and Brandstrom is in our future, as much fun as that would be.
Yeah.
So if you can lock down a right-handed point scorer on the blue line, like Jamie Drysdale, that puts you in the same vein as a prime PK Subban or John Carlson.
Yeah.
And that's an asset that would be invaluable to a team that, one, is already deep in the way of defense prospects, and two, is, like, if you're looking at a reasonable next step for the Senators, they need to score more goals.
Yeah.
So I think Drysdale would really help in that sense, along with whoever else they take in the top five, and even in the first two rounds as a whole.
Now, quickly, before I once again let you go and let you plug your stuff, I wanted to mention to you who I compare Jake Sanderson and Jamie Drysdale to. So my comparison for Jamie Drysdale is certainly Chris Letang. He reminds me of the skating prowess and, just the great puck handling skills, the great speed when he's skating, just the great burst of speed that he has, the great puck handling ability, and just the way he reads the game reminds me a lot of Chris Letang. Jake Sanderson, Jacob Trouba, 45-point defenseman, big body, hits whenever he needs to hit, sort of like a big body defenseman, but also gets the puck on net and gets some points. So that's how I project Jake Sanderson, as a Jacob Trouba, Tyler Myers type of guy, and then Jamie Drysdale is Chris Letang. What do you think about those two or three comparables?
I don't disagree with that at all. I think that kind of Chris Letang or John Carlson mold is pretty apt when you're talking about a guy like Jamie Drysdale. In terms of Sanderson, I view him in the same kind of vein as I do Bernard Docker, in the sense that he has a shot to be a really good two-way defenseman.
Yeah.
Not a guy who's going to put up eye-popping amounts of points, but
solid.
a guy who's going to be solid in both ends of the ice, can maybe even chip in with some power play time.
Yeah.
I don't think you're off base by any means, and I think when you're talking about a blue line that includes Thomas Chabot, includes Eric Brandstrom, and includes Christian Wolanin, who I agree with you when you said I think he's the most slept-on youngster in Ottawa's system.
For sure.
I think that's a really nice addition, especially when you think of the fact that Chabot, Brandstrom, and Wolanin are all left-handed shots that are probably going to be playing left side. So a couple right-handers would be a really, really nice look for Ottawa.
Well, Brandon, thank you so much for joining the show. We've had you on for 49 minutes. It's been great, and we still have like 25 people here. So, Brandon, why don't you plug your podcast, where you write, and of course, where to follow you, because all three are great follows and listens, and of course, reads.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I always love talking to you and appreciate the passion that you bring.
Appreciate it.
You find folks that are still listening to this for some reason can find me on Twitter at BrandonMaki6, BrandonMaki6. Find the writing at silver7sens.com, the absolute best Ottawa Senators fan blog on the World Wide Web. And my podcast is called Internal.
Check it out.
You can find that every week. Every week we got a new episode coming out with extremely mediocre content. So, Brandon, I appreciate you having me and appreciate you letting me plug my stuff.
Brandon's absolute pleasure. Everybody watching this, check out the Internal Budget podcast. It's fantastic. Brandon, thank you so much, and we will definitely speak soon.
Thanks for having me, man. Take care.
Appreciate it, man. All right, that was Brandon Maki, one of the top Sens fan writers. So I really appreciate Brandon for joining the show. We are 2 hours and 35 minutes in. We're at 10:10, and I need this video to upload so we can clip it and use it for promos and everything. And it's gonna take a long time to upload. I want people to watch and of course see the replay of the chat and everything. So if you had any final things to say, I'll stay on until 10:10. So I'll stay on for a couple more minutes if you want to say any couple messages. Matthew Anchel, cheers, Brendan. Hey, appreciate the support. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you everybody for coming and listening to me rant and scream and shout for the last 2 hours and 36 minutes. Any other comments before we go? 1 minute away. Also, I just wanted to plug, make sure to check out the Best of 7 podcast. They'll be up this Tuesday or Wednesday around then with Scott Wheeler, the Athletic writer. He's one of the top draft analysts. And on top of that, he is a Professional Writers Hockey Association voter. So he voted in the Hall of Fame. So we'll certainly get into that. Methought 40. 4 a.m. right here. So see you soon. Thank you so much for the support, Matthew. So Best of 7 podcast, check that out. Senstalk_ it's the Twitter. Make sure to click that red button down there and subscribe to us. Roddy, cheers. Thank you so much. What do you think for trading for Eichel? It will never happen, Felix. I just don't think that's possible for Ottawa. But Jeff Myra, thank you so much for this. Brandon can only be hyped now. On to the draft now. Night, Brandon. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for the support. At Senstalk_ it's the Twitter. Best of 7 podcast is the podcast available on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, Google Play, and of course here on YouTube at Sens Talk. And of course, follow us all of us on our social medias at Sens Talk Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Sens Talk for the IG, for the official Instagram for the Senators. Sens Talk, pardon me. But besides that, next Tuesday, see you later. Everybody, thank you so much for the support. I'll see y'all very soon. And maybe we'll be doing a live stream very soon. So I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for the support. It's been 2 hours and about 40 minutes. Thank you all, and have a fantastic night. Welcome to Ottawa, one of Byfield or Stutzel. Ottawa fans, get excited, baby. Woo! And I'll see you in the next one. Go Sens, go.